Where?
I think I'll stay away from that one just because, as a man, it's really easy to get addicted.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
I've been issues with women.
Well, yeah, I don't think I would get a woman with porn.
No, like
Because then you got.
I should go ahead do it, but not.
You know what it is? Because you got the younger guys.
Right here by you.
So I'm 64 years old.
Yeah.
So if you got like you, it takes a woman's like 40, and she still looks really foxy, and you got all interested in her. You come up to me, so you come up to me and say, "I'm gonna kick your." You probably care.
And let me tell you something, and it's crazy because I find women sometimes on like Instagram, they're married women, and I'll talk to them, and they'll be like, "Yeah, my husband doesn't even pay attention to me or nothing," and they get off just like. Talking to them on the phone.
But you know what the problem is? Why are you on Instagram? Like, why are you looking for something?
Right. No, so it's weird.
Because the men don't pay attention to it.
But that makes you feel like you're
it's
desperate
really
too
weird.
as well.
No, it's really weird. So
well, look at my mom. I'll tell you one. Here's a good one.
I'm not looking for fucking high.
Look at this. My mom. All the years with my dad was a fucking alcoholic, and he loved to talk to guys. He wasn't gay. But he wasn't gay. No, that's okay. My dad's dead. So my mom's 80-something years old. So my mom don't care no more. Anyway, my aunt probably kicked my ass. But the thing is, what I'm saying is, I wish my mom would have found a person.
How did we get from porn into talking about your mom?
No, but it's honestly true what he's trying to say.
That's an
What he's trying to say, like, you know what? I mean, you shouldn't just give up on life just because.
Yeah, and that's what they talk about. They feel like they're just like stuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not looking for that.
And it's not necessarily because your daughters are not saying
and
that.
they're not looking for guys either. So what they do sometimes, they'll post things and they'll go public, right?
Yeah.
Instagram has this thing called Threads, which is like Twitter pretty much.
Okay.
And a lot of women just post themselves. Like it could be like a selfie of them. In any way they look cute or shows a little something, guys are already there commenting.
Right.
They're commenting.
The ones I hate, I hate these cholo dudes, these glamour dudes. They
leave Jerry alone.
Well, he's old like me. He's not gonna get anywhere no more. Unless some woman needs unless he wins the lottery. Then women are going to be crawling.
But would you talk shit about that? If he wins the lottery, he has a choice.
Well, what I'm saying,
I mean, he could choose if he wants. Right, Jerry?
I'm 25.
No, Gary.
Yeah, he could say, you know what, fuck it, I got money enough
Jerry,
to buy this.
are you looking for women right now?
Yeah,
of course, all the time.
They can get them for $40 if you want.
Well, yeah, but I won't
being
degradate
honest.
myself to do that.
No, but so like for example, like that I was talking to this married woman, and she's just telling me everything about her life, you know how like fucked up it is and whatnot. And there's nothing that I can give her, right? I can't give her the house that she has over there in whatever state, you know. But they like the attention because
of course.
And we're like phone sex, video sex, and all that. They like that because they don't. She's like,
but then you got swallowed into the same shit.
Yeah,
like
she's
it's
like,
okay.
oh, my husband hasn't had sex with me in years.
Damn.
Oh yeah. So they're lonely.
But Jerry, you don't understand. Like the vato can't get it up no more.
Well, that's why
they work hard.
Yeah.
No, it sucks.
Hey, they fixed that problem.
Nah, a lot of people don't give a fuck about that no more.
No,
a lot of people don't care about fixing their problems.
No, some don't.
A lot of vatos don't care about fixing their problems. They're not just you know what? As long as I have a wife, they're okay with it.
Some are okay with.
Yeah,
I know women.
But that's not the point. If you have a wife, you're supposed to be dedicated to her.
You're supposed to, but that's not how it shows.
And she's supposed to be dedicated to you.
You're supposed to satisfy one another's needs.
Hey, but at one point, if your fucking dick can't get up no more.
Well, no,
I got the simple. Use your mouth.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you.
Your dick's not getting up no more.
Well, I married my
hey, being honest, bro.
No,
my chile and a lot of cocaine doesn't get up. I gotta be honest. Fuck it, I'm going to Reno.
You can cut that
I'm
out.
getting a Reno.
cut the cock off.
You get me? I'm
No,
getting a
but
ring
I get
or
what you're
something.
saying, like, from a natural aspect, like, you get older, you get to stuff.
Yeah.
No, yeah. There's stuff for it. Not every guy's gonna do it, though.
Yeah.
But women,
Or you're gonna be
women
stuck.
then women hit, like, menopause.
Or you're gonna be stuck
Yeah.
like those
So it does
commercials.
suck, you know? It's like, they
Remember
And
those
then social
commercials?
media's got a whole different fucking bargain.
You don't
Where
remember
the girls
race
are
car
wearing
guy?
like all these
His teeth
bikinis,
are like
and you find out it's your
always
niece
smiling.
or you're not your niece, your fucking neighbor at 3 stories
shit, if
down,
I'm gonna
whatever.
take some
And they're
weed,
selling
some
fucking
medicine,
things
give
on
me my
TikTok
mouth stuck in the
when they're all
market.
breast up. Ah, bro,
Well,
it's a whole different thing.
Because think about it, back then, I mean, some of these older women growing up, it wasn't as easy to get attention like that. Some people, like, I like older women, I do.
Oh, yeah.
40, 50-year-old women, I like them.
So the Terry, no?
Yeah. But back then,
how old I am.
but back then,
Get what is
they'll
in
be
the
like, no,
90s.
no youngsters like me.
Yeah.
But now that there's social media, and guys will be like, oh, I can swipe up real easy, spark a conversation, you let them know. They're like, oh, wow, really, you're into me. Like, nobody's giving me attention that way. It's different times nowadays. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
of social media, how connected it is, right? Back then, well, you're 20 in what, the 80s?
Yeah.
Oh, it's your little circle that you know. Let's
Yeah.
meet up here, let's meet up over there.
Hey, your
Now I
camera
can talk
recording
to
me.
somebody in New York.
No,
Easily.
no, it's not on
So
you.
that's why I think about it like temptation's out there easier.
As is, soldier.
Easier. Everything's available. Easier.
Yeah, well, you can even go if you want to have sex. See, very, very easy.
Oh, no, it's easy. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't, you know, I rather look at the porn videos and they go get in trouble, and you know, with women, and then later on these women are hunting you down.
Well, actually, it's actually different nowadays. Like I've seen chicks where it's like,
Get rid of the empty.
they're on social media, like, let's kick me out, let's have sex.
But it's bold the same way we do it. You get me? We
They're
don't
all
like
like-
dogs. We don't like dogs because we choose to want to do stuff.
Right.
So
No,
the
you
girls
know
have
what
the
you sign
same
up for at the end of the
sensation,
day.
you get me?
Yeah.
You know what you sign up for.
The
at the end
girls,
of the day.
and sometimes the girls are doing it as revenge,
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do that.
I've
They
seen
do
that.
that too.
right? As revenge, they're doing
Yeah.
it.
But that's a whole other.
That's
Yeah,
That's a
but
whole other
it
bigger.
happens.
There's a bigger picture to
It's
that.
what people don't think, like, oh, my girl won't do that.
Like the way that I
my
think
girl
about it.
won't do
'cause
that.
I
Well, they
was-
do.
Shit,
They do.
it.
Like I'm with my girl right now. Well, I cheated on her. Honestly, I did.
Don't say that.
You don't have to say that.
Well, she,
Well, she knows. I know. Like,
yeah, she already knows. There's no.
Together.
She cheated first.
No, I did. We're back
Okay,
together.
that's your fucking
right,
fault.
right. But we're back together.
But how does that make you feel?
Like a piece of shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So, but then I realized, like, I'm chasing like that whole idea of, oh, the grass is greener on the other side.
Nah, bullshit.
I want
You
better. I
already
want
fe-
better. I
You
want
already
better.
felt it. You already felt there.
I-
So how are you gonna like substitute what she feels? You already fucked up.
No,
matter
I would
what
say
you-
this stuff gives you a
no
sour
matter
stomach.
what, no matter what she feels, you're already
But
fucked.
my problem is it's how easy it is to talk to other women. Is what I'm saying. It's so easy.
Circle right there.
You go on
You
social-
don't even have to leave the house.
No, I can go on social media, check my
remember
friends.
how
It's
it is.
easy. It's
Dating sites.
Right, exactly. And like, you know, when I was doing a line of work where I do talk to a lot of women, and you can have easy conversations, then you get their number. It's so easy. And I started being like,
Well, I
oh,
was married for 8 years, and the woman, she didn't go after another man, but I found out she's more. She went to the wacko side. She even said, she told me, she goes, Andrew, it's all right if you bring another woman in this house. And when she told me that,
That's the winner.
no, when she told
That's
me
a setup, probably.
that's a setup, and it turned me off. That you know,
You just said it was a lato.
yeah. No, but I didn't never go in with another woman,
oh yeah,
and it just made me think less of her.
right. No, yeah, but not every woman's like that. You know, like my girlfriend's a real good
She was a
woman.
whack.
All right, my girlfriend's a real good woman. But like I said, why I did that was because I was addicted to talking to women. It's hard because it's so easy. Just how easy it is for a woman to talk to
But
many guys.
you get so you're involved in the people that
Yeah,
your
you
friends,
do.
the same people.
Yeah, you do.
That's gonna be bad for you, whatever. It's
Yeah,
not bad for
you get involved with it. But then I realized, like, dude, I'm neglecting somebody who legit cares about me, who's helped me down.
Yeah, that's the
Like
problem.
that. You don't know what you absolutely lose it. Do you believe in that?
You
part?
you can.
I believe it 100%.
Yeah, you
bro.
can.
I believe it 100% because we talk shit just to prove our point.
It's like some
you think
people-
he cares about it?
Oh, let me
You
tell
think
you-
he cares about it? You think
Yeah,
he
no,
cares about
right.
it?
Like, I kind of got hit with that when it was like Thanksgiving, right? I got pneumonia. And I was in the hospital.
Oh man.
Pneumonia. And you're just sitting there, and whatever, highly treatable, whatever, but everybody reacts differently, and I'm thinking like, oh fuck, this could be it. It could.
For all you know.
For all I know, it could be it, right? The one thing I'm not thinking about is fucking other women and shit like that. I'm thinking about, oh shit, where's my girlfriend? Where's my close family?
Thinking about making it.
Can she come visit me? You know,
Right.
Fuck that. I want to get out of here. That's what I'm
But
thinking.
that's
So
all you're thinking about. If she comes with you, if she don't come visit you, what is my family gonna say? If she don't visit you, what did you do wrong?
Right, no, right.
You have to. But that happened to me, bro.
No, right,
I'm telling you that.
Right.
Guaranteed you felt the same way.
Right. So, but what I was thinking was like,
So what happened to
fuck all
those
that other
guys?
shit, man.
Taking their time.
It's almost
I
10
know
now.
he's picking someone up.
Oh.
Is he picking up his girlfriend?
No, it's some guy, I think.
Oh, okay.
But what I was thinking is, I'm not thinking about, oh, let me go chase after other women. I'm thinking about what's important to me. Because I feel like I'm about to lose it. So that's what I realized.
You have kids?
Huh?
You have kids? What would you think if you had kids? You think it was her responsibility to visit you?
It's both the responsibility.
No. You gotta understand that.
Hey,
If they had kids or they had something,
while we're
well,
on this subject,
oh shit, here. The mayor?
The mayor.
let me show. I belong to a book club at the library down the street,
Oh, nice.
and
to watch Murder, She Wrote?
and it's yeah. And
It's fucking
the
right.
book club is all women. I'm the only guy in the
yeah.
book club.
Oh, I already know.
There's more back here. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
And they assign us bullshit like this. It's just junky women's romance novels. Yeah. So
Show it to the camera real quick, Jim.
When summer says yes,
the summer of yes.
Other women are the gentler sex.
It's like Thelma and Louise.
I when Jerry says yes.
But anyway, yeah. So I'm
Ronnie says yes.
a journalist, so I do research.
You're a journalist.
I have a degree in journalism. Remember all those years I was going to college? I got my degree in journalism.
I thought you used to fucking
Well,
take all your classes, man.
Record them.
I'm getting them.
This guy has a degree in science.
The late 60s, early 70s, this
And I have a degree in nothing.
Hold on, Andrew.
novels came out.
Hold on, Andrew. Hold on.
Called War
We all go to
Chronicles.
the same place.
All right, and it shows a society, kind of like science fiction, where women are kept in cages like this. They're kept in cages. They're kept on dog leashes,
So what's wrong with that?
and they're considered property. And the thing is, women get used to it and they start liking it. So
I got that's a science fiction movie.
Yeah?
There's some cultures where women are technically a property.
yeah.
The Islamic. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it's not necessarily that.
But the thing
It kind of is, dude. It's a little weird. The way they-
Okay, so let's do
The
this.
thing is, there's
You have a
whole
daughter, right?
No.
No, I'm saying, let's say you have a daughter,
Okay.
and I want to marry her. I have to go through you, and you give me the okay.
But that's like
But it's prearranged. It's all prearranged.
Oh, okay, I get that.
That's like, okay, but that's like a different thing. Because before you even get to my daughter, you're gonna get to dad.
Yeah, but she don't have to know shit about me for you to be like, okay, yeah, you're gonna marry this guy, and you're gonna marry him because he has this, and that.
Okay,
And that's it.
but see, where I'm going at is when your daughter just be like, oh, my daughter would be like 7 or 6, so light skin. Because nowadays, I'm 45, bro. I don't know. How old are you?
64.
Okay, and then you're how old?
61, okay.
Okay, so when we started going out to start seeing girls or whatever it is, we had to do that stuff to go visit the dad.
No, right. But it's way different because it's more like the women doesn't have a choice on who they're gonna marry. It's all prearranged. You don't even get to see the woman until the day of. In some.
Oh,
other
they're in
cultures.
those other cultures, yes.
Yeah,
And the man is still free to have other
Well,
women.
but
as
you know
well.
what?
It's really weird.
We had a friend.
Okay, but what I was gonna say,
What are you gonna say, man?
these cultures exist to this day.
Well, they do, definitely.
Here in the United States, where women are kept on dog leashes in cages.
Yeah.
Mormons?
No,
No, actually,
Oh, yeah,
no.
Billy Gay was doing
they
that.
call themselves Gorians,
Gorians.
and the women they go along with it, and somehow they just
No,
learn to
but
live
it
with
I think I give you too much of that
abuse
shit, man.
still happens.
I don't believe that.
There's some weird stuff that happened in this country. Man.
You
Yeah.
don't believe it? There's whole societies who belong to this.
I actually met a girl on Tinder once. She was part of a cult. It was crazy. She escaped the
Okay.
She
cult.
was part of a cult?
The question is, why do you go tender? I wouldn't know because I wouldn't do it.
Well,
I feel
me
like,
personally.
okay, let me tell you.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm 45.
Yeah.
I know, we heard it.
After 14 years of being with someone,
Yeah.
I don't know how to date again. You get me?
Oh, you don't want to try. You don't want to try.
I
again.
wouldn't go that way because I feel desperate.
Well, it's more like, for example, usually.
So what am I doing wrong?
Right. So usually, like for me, for example, I didn't know a lot of people in high school, right? I didn't know a lot of people in college, yada. So the beauty about like technology nowadays is that you get to meet people that aren't too close to you, aren't too far from you, and you get interconnected really fast, right? Because what are the what do you do for work? You just work, right? Like every other job, right?
Yeah.
What are the chances you're gonna meet a woman there? Pretty slim. You're not putting yourself out there, going to clubs or restaurants or fucking pumpkin patches, So your next best option is look online. Not every chick online is a weirdo.
But that's
This is not the bud,
No,
man.
that's right. 'Cause but you're from a different time. That's right. You're from a different time. Nowadays, I think I'm not too sure, but it's more than likely you'll meet somebody like
But
significant.
I would like to, but I'm afraid to.
Well, it's because it's out of your comfort zone. So with anything else,
I get a dude with a brother with an Adam's apple.
yeah.
But that's fine.
They have apps for that.
But that's fine.
But yeah, like the chances of you finding a woman out there right now in your daily routine are slim.
Yeah,
So you
I feel
increase-
like it's desperate.
So you,
You get me?
the way you look at it, there's a way to look at it. Like it's desperate if you're like, I want to talk to so many chicks like how I would do it, But it's different when you're
To me,
looking
I
at
don't feel.
something.
I don't feel, but I feel like, dude, I got the biggest catch I got. 45 with no kids. At least I got that.
I mean,
There's
Yeah.
plenty of autos, probably, but there's a lot of 30-year-olds and 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids.
yeah, no, definitely. It's just the way you look at it with anything. I mean, it's all.
I told myself, like, you know what? If I meet a girl, it's gonna happen.
Right,
It's not-
right.
I'm not looking for going to church to meet a girl.
You could do that. There's a lot
But
of men
I'm
in
not
church.
going to because you know what? It's just not me.
I mean, I get it. Who goes to church to look for women? That's kind of weird. But if it comes up naturally, it's different.
Oh yeah, naturally would be the best.
At church, like, hey, so you want to grab coffee after? Talk about the gospel? I don't know.
Yeah.
Talk about holy things.
The New Testament.
Yeah. So it's different. There's ways to go about it.
Yeah,
There's ways that you can still do it in that aspect. But for some people, it's easier to do it on social media. Some people have social anxiety or.
But see, it's not that me that I'm getting judged or whatever. I just feel like it's harder for a 45-year-old. Like
I know.
just to come back.
Yeah, but
Like, say you're 60, would you do it? Would you look into social media?
I got nothing to lose.
I'm not doing anything right now, so.
Might as well.
But honestly, if the girl taps you back, you know what left means, right means, right?
Yeah, left, right. Yeah.
What does that mean?
Let's
Left, right,
see.
right, left.
Well, no, but what
This
does
side,
that
that
mean?
side.
No, left means they like you or right means
Want to hear a
they don't
funny
like you.
story?
I'm not really computer literate.
Okay, and me and this guy's era, there was no internet,
Right.
no smartphones, no social media. Everything was just done by
I use that
telephone.
as an excuse or what?
Yeah, everything was done by telephone. So if you wanted to arrange a blind date with somebody, you just do it over the telephone.
Party line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Or a mutual friend or something.
so one dude, I met him at a bar, and he was pounding the beers, and I go, what happened, man? He goes, I had a bad date tonight. He said he met some chick on the phone. It was an Asian chick, and she described herself, because the chicks would just describe themselves.
Yeah.
You couldn't actually
Over a
see.
voice, yeah,
you
yeah.
couldn't actually see a picture of them, a profile picture of them. So she described herself, and he said that she described herself looking pretty good. And he says he picked her up, and he looked at her, and he said,
Sumo wrestling.
where can I drop you off?
That That happened to me a few
He
weeks
says
ago.
he dropped her off at the next
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah, dude,
He
like-
made her walk home.
And I had her on social media, but you know, I was gonna be nice with it. You know, she bought I had her on social media. She was looking kind of good, you know, a little bit thicker, but nothing I could handle. And then so like I arranged to hang out with her, and I picked her up, and I was like, damn, I didn't know. No, it was night and day, dude. She was bigger than like most of us here.
Oh my God.
For the team.
You should see
I
what,
can take some for the team if they look good, but not like that.
oh,
The limits.
what happened one time, we were out in the swap meet, and we were, I was talking to Jim about the women dates,
Dating sites.
dating sites, and this ugly woman. I was about 30,
Late 30s.
late 30s.
40 by that time.
And just before I got married though, and she comes up and she says, me and Jim's going. She comes and goes, how about me, honey? She comes out. She goes. Oh, you guys look at it. She comes up. She goes, how about me, honey?
No, I'm gonna take off, man.
And this woman
I got stuff to do, man.
is scrawny, like a toothpick,
Worn out.
worn out.
Old.
She looked like she was 40, but her tits were gone, sagging.
Her tits were 65.
Your tits were 60, and when she smiled, she had black teeth with teeth missing,
Which hair?
witch hair, and then she had Zoris. She looked like she was a worn out chola.
They need loving too.
And yeah, but I'm just saying, when I seen her and I go, oh God, man, she got me sick.
A few beers more. You would have
Yeah.
No, hell no,
Give him a couple beers. Give him some shrooms.
hell no.
But
I
still
couldn't
took
be.
her out.
I couldn't. Lisa looked and Preston looked 100 times better than she did.
I still took her out. And I was like,
I wouldn't have took her
I was
out.
nice to her. I was like,
Hell
fuck
no.
you.
Hey, so take off.
I took her out. I still took her out.
That's nice of you. I would have said, see ya.
Oh, man.
I would have said, see ya.
Now you gotta say
Thanks for the pizza. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for coming by.
We do this every couple of weeks.
We do this every other week.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
If you want to come in,
Welcome to my house.
if you want to come in 2 weeks, we'll have it again.
Oh, in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
what's the topic
Yeah, I
next
should be
2 weeks.
covered by
We
this.
have
It changes every time. Have a good night, man.
I'll bring more goodies, man.
Yeah.
See different colors.
See you later.
All right, man. You guys take care, dude.
It's hard because they need loving too. But
I know. But
Doesn't have to be from us.
just like I said, she came on to me. I didn't come on to her.
Right.
And she was trying to get, I don't know if she was trying to be funny in the beginning, but I got turned off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, but even like I said, even with social media, you get those where you see pictures of them and
Well,
they change their appearance a little bit.
I had one too. I fell for one. She goes, send me so much money and everything like that. And I had just broken up with my wife, and I fell for it. I promised her $100. I still gave it to her, but then she asked for more money. No, I know what it was. It was a gimmick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's crazy. It's real crazy. I mean, the internet, social media nowadays.
Yeah.
It's much easier.
You don't know what's what.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people get tricked by AI. It's crazy.
Well,
I've
you
seen
know,
it.
well,
Don't
back
believe it.
then there was no AI, but they could get videos from the porn and download
yeah.
and download pictures, and you don't know
Of
who
other
the hell you're
people.
talking- You don't know who you're talking to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it's kind of scary nowadays though with the AI. A lot of people, especially older people, they become victims to it, or
Yeah.
they get scammed. You know, like how back then it was like telemarketing. They'll call you, they'll take your information. Nowadays it's all like AI too. I seen this one that was actually real crazy. This lady believed, I think she was from the UK. She believed that she was in a relationship with Brad Pitt.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, and that the guy like altered, like it was like the shittiest edit, you know, that you can ever see. But
Right.
for us, right?
Right.
But an older lady would be like, oh, that's him, you know? And she gave him like $200,000 for surgery that he needed. For surgery that he needed.
Why would Brad Pitt need $200,000?
I don't know what that lady
That should have been her first question.
But yeah, you can actually find it, and yeah, she gave him like her life savings.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean,
Uncle Drac heard of that story.
yeah. No, so you can imagine like that, but with AI or with like the
AI is
like
different
videos, like
now.
some of them are like presidential speeches and they're AI altered. Obviously, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. but
Right.
somebody else won't. So you'd be surprised, like, I mean, how far somebody could take something like that. As in, let's say it's like somebody who's like a really hard Trumper, and they doctor a video of him saying something radical. Who's to say that somebody out there is going to take that seriously
And then
and do something radical?
Or it could be used in a court of law against them as legitimate evidence.
Video evidence is like close to the truth in the court of law.
Because that Google VEO3, that's either out already or it's gonna come out.
So how are they going to do that with video evidence in court of law?
So let's say I wanted to fabricate you stealing something at 7-Eleven.
Right.
All I would have to do is feed your imagery and then give a prompt.
Right.
And then the AI will spit out a video.
So let's say it's real good, right? Is there a way that nowadays in the court of law they would have to not streamline it, but in a way like go through it to see like, okay, yeah, this is a legitimate video. You know what I mean?
Well, they can always.
I don't know.
Would they be able to look at the pixels and everything?
Maybe
Yeah.
like the file, you can probably get that.
Oh, where it came from.
Yeah, where it came from, but are they doing that nowadays? I don't know.
And then
I
they can
have
tell
no
you
idea.
the date. Say you have witnesses say you're there, and
Yeah,
that thing says that
You're getting an
you're.
alibi for sure.
Yeah.
But that's what we're heading towards. So they're gonna need technology to be able
That's
to
why I said.
tell the difference.
That's why I told Donovan because he was he went to the
Protest.
protest. I go, don't even get near the front.
I was in the front.
Were you protesting pro or against the protest?
Honestly, I was just there to record, but you know,
What do you stand with it? It's a safe space.
Well, the thing is, I'm for the poor Latinos. You know what I mean? It's not their fault. It's not their fault that they need a job and they come to work here. You know what I mean?
You know, I was reading some
The ones that should be held treasonable, and the ones
the murderers or rapists.
no, the ones that should be held responsible are the ones that give them the jobs.
Look, I think about it this way.
Because look at, they come out of their way, they're looking for a job. No,
Cheap labor.
it's cheap labor. That's why they take advantage of it.
well, let him get his piece. Let him get it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was reading, like, I got in a weird funk, so I started looking into certain philosophies. The way that I think about it is every human on this earth has a right to live a life undisturbed.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, no matter how you look at it, don't care where you are, what side you are, I'm not on any side. This is stolen land. Whether we like to look at it that way or not, GG's, whatever the natives lost on their like, own land,
Right.
it's still stolen land. Everyone traveled here to get here. You know, these people, some of these people who are illegal immigrants contribute to
Yeah,
taxes.
they do.
They pay taxes.
Yeah,
And
that's-
they're taking a lot of jobs that most common Americans won't take.
Yeah.
I don't think that the American dream is to be doing certain jobs that some of these people do. Not all of them are like that, of course. And I know it's a slippery slope.
And you know who hired a lot of illegals? Believe it or not, who hired a lot of illegals? Trump.
Well, a lot of companies right
No,
now.
but I'm saying Trump, the big bullshitter that is all Mr.
Get him out.
Illegal and illegal. He had legals working for him in the White House. He had illegals, and they keep real quiet and hush hush about it.
Get them out of my country.
He keeps real quiet and hush hush about it. But the fucker got illegals working for him. You know what I mean? So he's a fucking hypocrite.
Well, I mean, his last name is German.
Well, he's a fucking German Jew.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, humans have the right to an undisturbed life. I think if you're not hurting anybody, or even at times you're not hurting yourself, fuck it. I do agree. There's murderers, there's rapists, there's fucking.
Well, that's the ones
people
that they
who slang
should.
drugs. And
Those
stuff.
are the ones that they should go after.
Again, it's a slippery slope. You know, I've had members who are family members who are gang members, and they lost their lives to that. But
Agreed.
I mean, it's a slippery slope. People got to survive nowadays, especially nowadays. Everything's really expensive. People got to survive. But I think if you're working an honest job, you're not disturbing anybody, you're contributing to taxes, which a lot of the rich don't really do. They find ways to evade it.
There's the loopholes of tax lawyers.
Right. I heard that today my sister, her friend's dad got deported at the gas station. They asked him for ID, he had a fake ID, and he got deported.
Oh my
This
god.
guy's been here his whole life, contributing to taxes.
Non-violent.
Has his homes, no record, no criminal record, yada yada yada, and he gets deported. That's kind of fucked up, man.
That's bullshit.
That's fucked up.
You know, one thing I wrote on the list of debate topics, and kind of my position when it comes to the riots and everything is,
You have the right to protest.
yeah,
You do.
it's the South Americans and Mexicans. They're essentially the fall guy, and always have been the fall guy for, at least in recent history, for when it comes to the immigration debate and deporting people and whatnot. No one ever talks about Chinese immigrants,
Oh no.
Asian immigrants,
Italian
African
immigrants,
immigrants,
Italian,
Middle Eastern immigrants.
The Italians were the original.
The
yeah,
Chinese?
They got fucked.
The
Chinese
Chinese?
got fucked. Yeah, they got fucked in the early stages of America. Like,
Irish too.
yeah, Industrial Revolution, pre-Industrial Revolution, Industrial Revolution, they got fucked. You know, they were out there slaving away. But I mean, like I said, a lot of America was built on that. It's real weird. It's real weird.
When I've read in history books, the most despised immigrants in America, in early America, were not black people. They were Irish people.
Yeah.
Everybody hated the Irish.
Irish, Chinese, Irish, Asian, and Italian.
Yeah.
They said,
I mean, a lot of Italian people have to like change their last names and stuff like that.
Did they really?
A lot of them, yeah. Like a lot of, like I used to have a teacher. He had a last name, and they changed the pronunciation so that they wouldn't know that they're Italian. Same thing with some Spanish. They'll change the pronunciation of their last name. So that Jewish people would come here and they'll get a new last name so that that last name doesn't get carried with them, so that they can kind of.
And
live
the
their own
Chinese?
life.
Oh, Jewish people do it for more nefarious reasons, but
Not all-
but
not
I
all,
see your point. Not all.
Not the ones who were escaping, you know, certain kind of things going on in Germany and yada yada yada.
I want to take this in a more bizarre direction. The reason I heard about that is that I was reading about doctors would rob graves to do
I thought through medical science and
to do medical experiments
Yeah.
on cadavers.
yeah.
They said that before they would dig up a black person, they would dig up an Irish person because they were considered the most worthless in society.
Well, there's only a certain amount of bones, right? Like,
Yeah.
so it's like there's only X amount of bone structures, right? Like head-wise, like there's like you can tell if it's like an African American head,
Right.
or like a
Or male or female.
right. But I know it's like about like less than 10, I think. If you know, like if you notice some African Americans have like a bigger like
Cranium and yeah.
So I know there's only like a certain amount of shape that would determine at the end of the day, like for a serious burn victim or something.
Right.
You know, it'd be like, oh, they're from this kind of range of bone structure. So
They're probably from here. Yeah.
That's how they kind of discover other bones, like older bones that they find like in certain countries. Right? Like, oh, well, we can kind of narrow it down to this.
With Neanderthals and Sub-Saharans and all that. Yeah.
Later on, yeah. So I always found that kind of interesting. Yeah.
Have you ever seen those skulls they found with elongated skulls?
Yeah.
in
They're crazy, man.
in where did
Evolution,
they
right?
find those? South America, Egypt,
South America,
What's the
Chile.
oldest? It's the oldest one was found like in.
And the normal scientific explanation for that is that they just practice some
Head
kind
wrapping.
of boarding where they would just flatten their heads out.
Yeah.
But I was hearing a scientist the other day saying that these skulls have like 30-40% more brain capacity
Yeah.
than a normal human skull. And you cannot fake that. You could flatten someone's head with aborting
Or use those rings.
deformity. Yeah, those rings.
Oh, and then they
but you
did,
cannot
The
fake.
rings
You
on the
cannot
neck.
fake brain capacity.
and then they also found out they had extra genes,
Yeah, yeah,
extra chromosomes.
yeah. So that's a mystery right there. I'm not saying they're people from outer space. I'm just saying they're not normal.
Well,
humans.
they found
Probably got wiped out.
they
Yeah, maybe
found-
an extinct peoples.
They found. You never read the thing? They found two bodies that are 3,000 years old and have nothing to do with
There's no relation to modern man.
no.
I never heard of that.
You heard of that, Jim?
Yeah,
I didn't go into looking at it. I figured out what they're gonna find out.
Wish there were more people here to get into this discussion. But
I'm sure when Hector comes.
Yeah, he's bringing somebody, right?
I think I brought this up at one of our meetings that up north somewhere, Oregon or Washington, they found a skeleton of a humanoid, and it was like 7,000 to 10,000 years old.
Yeah.
And right away, the Native American people said, no, well, that's our skeleton. You have to give it back to us because there's an act of Congress that says if you find Native American remains anywhere in the United States, they have to be given to the Native Americans
Yeah, like that.
to be reburied.
Anything though, right? Like
Yeah.
tools and stuff like that.
Yeah, but the scientists said, no, this skeleton is not Native American. It doesn't have Native American features. It doesn't have Native American bone structure.
Cells.
Yes. The DNA testing says this is not American.
I think it's a slippery slope too.
Yeah.
Because how was it that it worked? There was a land bridge, right?
Bering Strait.
Yeah, then it went away. So whenever humans were here, humans were there, were separated until, I mean, Columbus was a piece of shit, right? Whatever.
Right.
Debate on that. But what someone said one time that struck me, that was like one of the most important things in human history is that he finally connected them again. Unwillingly, because he thought he found India, I guess.
Yeah. He thought it was India or something. Yeah.
When he did that, it was the first time that side of humans and this side of humans connected again. So it's like, maybe they are native, but who knows? I don't know.
Well, you know what they said? The Chinese might have been the first ones to actually come.
Well, then Ray also says, do you know Ray?
Right? No.
No. He's one of the guys that comes here. He says that there's been Nordic people
Oh, that's
found here
on the East Coast.
on the East Coast.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
but the Chinese.
That'd be.
They're like Scandinavian people.
Okay.
Like Norway, Finland, those countries.
Vikings.
Vikings, yeah.
Probably got lost or maybe.
No, they were in their exploration mode and they were looking for gold and food and
Other places to conquer, probably.
and they came way before Columbus did.
Oh, that's interesting.
And
Well, documented wise, is what I'm
they,
saying.
now they found
No,
out that's true.
Oh, it's true?
It's true.
No, I was going off of like documented, you know, 'cause I'm pretty sure shit has happened undocumented.
And no,
The only people that would know would probably be Native Americans if they could confirm that.
Yeah.
You'd have to ask tribes local
Well,
to.
I mean, how much of that was destroyed? Possibly these were destroyed while the English came here and took over. Maybe some of the Spaniards too took over a little bit closer to like
The French, the Germans, too, yeah.
Who knows that a lot of that stuff was destroyed? I mean,
That's true.
earliest forms of censorship. You know what I mean?
Right.
We
Well,
see that
the-
nowadays.
And then Native
The ones-
Americans, oral traditions more than anything,
the ones
too.
that did that destroyed all the cult was the Spaniards.
So all what?
They destroyed all of the
Bunch of records.
the codex of the
Yeah.
Aztecs.
Well, they took all their gold and silver, man.
Well, that's not only that. They destroyed.
It fucking inflated the
They
market.
fucked it everything.
Oh, they
Burned all their writings, their documents.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
It's fun.
they destroyed the codex.
It's fun.
They their way of life, everything
Yeah.
was destroyed by the Spaniards.
Decimated a whole fucking race, man. It's fucked up.
And then
Did they just do that to the Aztecs, or did they do that to the Mayans,
because
or did they do that to the Mayans and the Incans too?
well, the Incans Well, the first was the Mayans. They were first, but they were gone when the Aztecs were here.
Right.
They were gone already. They might have been still little, you know,
Pockets.
here and there, but the Aztecs took over the Mayans, and before them, they had the Incans too. Incans are from South America.
They're more south. They're like Peru and beyond.
What is that, Mesoamerica? What is it called?
Yeah,
Meso-indigenous?
but they're saying this is about 14th century, maybe 12th century. The Chinese, they had big, humongous.
Colonies.
How do you always get back to the Chinese?
No, they had
There's some fuckers.
no.
China,
They
China,
had
China.
junks that were humongous.
That what?
Junks, ships, merchant ships. These are not warships. These are trading ships.
Right.
Cargo.
And they came trading all over South America and there's proof that they were here. Especially the Aztec. They show big heads of the Chinese.
I gotta read into it. I'm kind of ignorant to
Did
that.
you know
I
that,
gotta read
right?
into it.
Yeah, I heard
I
that.
gotta read it. I gotta read into it. I'm more of a, I gotta read it. You know,
There's so much stuff to read.
And then there's now they're finding I don't know if it's truth or not that they might have been Egyptians in the Amazon, in the Arizona,
Grand Canyon.
yeah,
I'm
Grand
not too familiar
Canyon.
with
All
Egyptians and their naval thing. I'm not too familiar.
The government does not want to release any
information regarding that.
information regarding that.
Egyptians
It's all
have, like, boats
hearsay.
and stuff?
Huh?
The Egyptians have like boats and like naval travel.
Oh, yeah.
I really whenever I learned about ancient Egypt and stuff like that. I mean that's a whole other discussion.
Right.
Pyramids and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
The whole like radar that they're doing, the lidar.
I've heard of what he's talking about. That there's damn near identical Egyptian hieroglyphs in the Grand Canyon, and if you try to go down there, sooner or later,
Government.
fucking G-men or something are gonna come after you.
Investigators, that's why.
Yeah.
I get it in a way. I get it because it's like you don't want it to be tampered with, but I feel like as people we have a right to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but I know a lot of stuff Trump would want to say, but I know he's trying to declassify a lot of things. He declassified a lot of the Kennedy stuff.
JFK files.
The JFK files.
I haven't read into that.
He declassified some, but not too much.
But, he released a lot of shit, and they released some more. That the one who actually killed JFK is Johnson.
Lyndon B. Johnson? Where did I
But he was at least involved.
I literally heard that today, but I'm trying to figure out where did I hear that
Johnson and Nixon were involved.
today. Where did I hear that today? I don't know where I heard that today.
Well, you know who else was involved?
You know why?
The Israeli mafia was also involved.
You know why? Because no one knew the route the president was going to take. Only one person knew the route that it was going to take, and that was the vice president. And the vice president at that time was Johnson.
That's smart.
And Johnson, Kennedy did not want the war in Vietnam to keep going. Okay?
And he wanted to sign a bill that would make Israel a foreign agent and cut off all of their aid.
Well, that was not only that.
And also prevent them from getting and prevent them from damn it, Andrew, and prevent them from getting nuclear weapons as well.
Wow.
And not only that, and then he was all into releasing all the UFO files. There was another one. And there was another one.
What do you think that is? Yeah,
I did very true.
I seen some shit, man.
and then
You seen some shit?
I seen the UFO.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you a story right now. Real quick story if you want.
Go ahead.
We've heard Andrew's a million times. Give yours, and he'll tell you his.
2014, I was out in Fontana with my girlfriend at the time, and we're out there just stargazing, and we're looking up high in the sky, so just high as you can look in the sky. This is pre-drones, pre-everybody, you know, everybody has drones and stuff like that.
Right.
Pre that.
Even phones weren't that good.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, come on, I had a shit ass Android.
Yeah.
We were looking up in the sky, like super high in the sky, as high as it can be, and we're looking at this bright ass star, a real bright star that was just stagnant there up in the sky. I mean, I'm sober, you know, we're young, both of us.
Right.
And we're looking at it, and I swear to God, it just zipped away. It zipped away. It was like stagnant, so it wasn't like no like shooting star. It was just stagnant.
It's still there for a good while.
It was still there for a good while. We're looking at it for like 10 minutes, and then out of nowhere, just zipped away. And we both looked at each other like, what the fuck was that? Did you fucking, yeah, we fucking saw that. And like I said, I feel like I can determine how high certain things are. There ain't no dragonfly. You know?
Right.
It was super high up in the fucking sky, and we saw it zip away.
Well, that's what happened to me. Like I'm telling you, we went hunting. No, because he hasn't heard it. Me and my friend went hunting. And I was looking at, all of a sudden I see 3 lights way in the hell up there. And then they,
It was Chinese lanterns.
there we go.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah, moving the speed of sound, going,
They were caught
flying.
They were caught in the wind drift.
They're flying as fast as they can, and then they stop. And they pretend like nothing was there for about a good half a minute, and then all of a sudden, boom, they were gone.
It was swampy.
So yeah, well, mine was a good thing I was sober with mine. And so was my
Oh,
girlfriend
sober
at the time.
too.
So was mine at the time, but it was real weird. I couldn't explain it with any logic or you could have been using
Or conventional means.
Fontana?
Montana, yeah.
It's not too far.
No. It's like Ontario-ish. Ontario.
It's a city, big city.
Nowadays is. Yeah.
It's San Bernardino County.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm telling you, it was way up in the sky and it just made
The
like a
lower-
U-turn,
it's the-
like a U-turn, like a little zip.
it's the
And it
high
zipped away and
desert.
disappeared and we lost it.
They call that the high desert.
And
No, that's a
I'm-
low
I'm a
desert.
skeptic. You know, I don't have a belief in it, in religion or anything.
But that is
So I couldn't be like, yeah, that was a. Could have been a satellite. I don't know.
the eyes don't lie.
I don't
But
know.
a satellite doesn't fly like that.
I'm telling you, it just zipped
Yeah.
away.
It just, that's the
It
way I see
disappeared.
it.
Yeah,
It
like
just,
light speed.
it just, whoop.
Come on, I've never seen a UFO.
And I put that on my grandpa's grave, dude. I love my grandpa. I put on his grave. I would
wish
not
I
lie.
could see
I
it.
would not lie about that, man.
And I told you, I seen that one, like, we were coming from Vegas one time.
Oh, come on now, yeah, that's.
We were
that's
coming
the
from-
epicenter right there.
I know, and then I'm in a bus, and I get to look, and I'm looking at the, what do you call it? When you see all the mountains and you see the
The horizon.
horizon, and I see this little thing going fast. I mean, going fast on
Probably
the.
a black paper bag caught in the wind.
Oh yeah, and you could see it.
That's ultimate
and
sketch.
Far
you
away.
and you could see it from on the bus.
Something that small, that
about
far away.
300 miles away, and flying like no faster. Than an airplane can't do
It
that,
was a trash bag.
or a helicopter can't do that.
Wait till you see one. You gotta see one, man.
And then you know what it does?
I wish I could.
And then you know what it does? It stops, and it goes back the other way.
Yeah.
Just as fast. I go. It didn't go like big fucking U-turn like this. No, it just right back the way
It's
it came.
probably a shadow.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, some stuff I've seen, man, that I can explain. Like, I dream something, I wake up, and there it is. You know, I don't know, man. There's some stuff that I really can't explain. Weird stuff. And I don't like to get into spiritual things. I remember one time my aunt was recently not recently, but at the time
Who wants to
recently,
drink some dead beer?
right?
Damn it, Andrew.
My cousin, he got shot.
Aw.
Outside of the apartment complex where they live, he died.
Wow.
And I remember she was like, "Yeah, there's like a water stain in my on my shower curtain that looks like him." I'm like,
Oh,
and I was like, "You crazy old Mexican, you know, like you guys with your little folklore stories, whatever, right?" She's like, "I'm not fucking lying. Go see it. Like, go fucking look at it." And I was like, "All right, fine, I'll go look at it." You know, me being skeptical, like, "Oh, go look at it. It's probably like some blob, right?" And then I go. And I go into the restroom and I see the shower curtain in the corner, right in the corner of that water stand. It was like the perfect head shape of his. And I swear I looked at it and I saw his face in the head shape and I was like, nope. No. I don't know what, maybe the fear, I don't know, fight or flight just fucking hit me. And I was like, I'm out.
Or
I'm out.
you know what it is too? You want to believe.
I wanted to,
Yeah,
but
and
what I
you-
saw told me otherwise.
No,
Yeah.
but you want it to.
Well, what it is like something that shouldn't be, but is.
No, but if you want something to be,
Right, no.
if you want something
No, right.
to believe, that much to be it.
Right.
Like me, I could
didn't want
have,
to,
I could have not believed that you
Yeah,
might
right.
not be a UFO, but
Whoa.
I start thinking, well, how many?
Just thinking logically.
I think
Right.
how many things can go that?
So that's how I went. Cause I was like, she's a crazy old bat. Whatever she's talking about, you know, I don't believe her. So I went to go see it myself, and I saw his head shape. Again, it could have just been anything, but I just thought it was kind of some food for thought.
Yeah, it might be true.
I thought it was funny. I don't know how I believe in all that stuff, but I just thought that was real interesting.
Yeah.
Or there's times I've like partnered with people in dreams and I've never seen them ever again.
There's like a little bit
Real
beer in
weird
it.
stuff that I can't
But
explain.
it
Again,
tasted like.
brain's a powerful thing, though. You know, a very powerful thing.
It is.
So I guess it's always cool to have an alibi when you're there to
Yeah.
really confirm it.
Well, you gotta have
So you
enough.
just saw the head, or did you see the whole body shape?
It was his head in the. It was like let's say like the shower curtain, right? Like
Yeah.
it was the shower curtain. Right here, it was in the corner, the only wet spot right here in the corner in the bottom. That was like his perfectly bald head shape with his glasses and everything. His glasses and everything. I ran out of that room, but there's some real weird stuff that like
They gonna charge
family
it?
find weird things.
I'm using it.
And
My phone is dead.
I could charge it in my phone in my room.
and yeah, so there's a lot of weird stuff that I've seen,
17%.
I'll charge it in my room right now.
Like that's done.
Some people,
What's up, Ray?
they've seen the image of Christ in a burned tortilla.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I've seen that. No, that's different.
Oh, you're not gonna make it?
Ray's not coming yet.
Yeah, but yeah, there's some weird shit. You know,
All right then.
dreams. What do they mean? Yeah, who cares?
All right, sounds good. Ray's not gonna make it.
It's all good.
What happened to him?
Drank too much already?
Oh shit.
Hector?
No, Ray.
Oh, Ray.
Hector's still coming whenever the fuck he shows up.
I'll text him. But yeah, I don't get it.
Oh, you know what? One thing I want to tell you about Jim.
Oh, here we go.
No, this has to do with those, the riots.
Yeah.
That these poor people, you know, that went against the. They didn't attack no federal building. They went after the soldiers and everything right there, right? They're gonna go to prison probably for about 5 years, 6 years, and they're not gonna get pardoned. But those white boy motherfuckers that went into the federal government, they went into the Congress,
Capitol building.
January
the
6th.
Capitol, and they actually fought with soldiers. They hurt them. They did everything to them.
Yeah.
Federal troops, and they got away with it. They got all pardoned because they're white boys. They're Trump's army.
Andrew, you're falling for the racial disparity.
No, but and then I heard him the other day. That Naomi bitch. That
Christy Noem?
Yeah, she goes up there and she says, "You people that are," she was actually prejudiced against one race. Okay, all you people that are, you're gonna listen to Trump, and you're gonna get if you don't go home, and we're gonna catch you, and we're gonna take you back to Mexico.
Yeah, I heard her say that.
I go, you are totally prejudiced.
Do it right there.
I go, you are singling out a certain
People.
people. It's not only Mexicans, biatch. There are tons of other immigrants out here that done, especially white boys like fucking Russians. Fucking, there's Chinese. There's all kinds of other. You only look at the brown race. That's your excuse every fucking time.
Like I said, it's the racial fall guy.
Slipped up right
And
there.
I go back down.
You heard that?
I go
Yeah, I
back
heard
down
her
to the
say
most
that.
simple philosophy thing I've ever heard. Humans have the rights and undisturbed life.
No, but
What color you are don't matter.
but the thing is, she singled
No,
the Mexican race
it sucks.
out.
It sucks. But like I said,
But
it
it's
shouldn't
not.
be that way. It shouldn't
It's
be that
not
way.
really Mexicans. There are a lot of them are Hondurans,
It's not
El
just Mexican.
Salvadorians.
Colombian.
I don't know about Colombians, but
There's a lot of
those,
races here, man.
no, but the ones from the Central America thing.
Oh, okay.
Those are the ones
yeah,
that are.
Guatemala.
Yeah, those are the
Salvadorian,
ones.
Honduran, yeah.
Those are the ones that are coming in droves,
Oh yeah.
and there are some Mexicans, but
But it doesn't account for everyone.
but
Yeah,
she
yeah, yeah.
singles out that it's all Mexicans.
That's funny as fuck.
What about Canadians?
Yeah, there's
They
Canadians.
can just walk across the border.
There's Canadians.
Hey man, 'cause some of them have fair skin, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's Chinese. You know how the Chinese do?
Dude, there's Somalians in, I don't know if it's Missouri or Minnesota. Somalians!
Yeah. We get the Chinese. You know how they get in here? They come on those big boats, but they don't stop at the port. You know where
They come in those balloons. They've been.
yeah. You know what they do? They stop like about 50 miles.
Those Chinese air balloons.
They stop about 50 miles from the shore, and they bring them on little boats. So everyone thinks, oh, they're in the containers. No, they don't. They die, and most of them they come in the little boats,
Yeah.
just like the Cubans do.
Yeah.
They do the same thing.
The American dream, man.
Yeah. But they say it's Mexican, totally Mexican.
I just thought about that. I mean, like you said, there is like Chinese immigrants. So they're not deporting them, are they?
No, they're only singling out Mexicans.
Or Mexican.
Hispanic.
Yeah.
But they're not going after Cubans.
Really?
They're not going out. There's a lot of Filipinos and Puerto Ricans from the East Coast. They don't go after them. And then you got Haitians.
Okay.
There's a
That
shitload.
changes.
There's a shitload of Haitians that came too.
There is. American dream.
And you can.
Okay, finish your thoughts. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, finish. I finished.
No, yeah, because that gets. Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, they single out the Mexican people all the fucking
I
time.
think you're a little.
All right, Terminator. What do we got?
Oh, did anybody see Senator Alex Padilla get thrown to the floor?
Oh, yeah.
I did not.
I didn't see it. I read it. I heard it.
Oh my God, that was so outrageous. Because it's just like Trump getting shot at that speech he gave. How do you know there's not? How does the Secret Service not know that there's a guy laying on a roof with a rifle? You have surveillance, you have drones, you
Yeah.
have agents everywhere, and they took a shot at Trump and cut off a piece of his ear. Okay, so with this Senator Alex Padilla, he's a U.S. senator, and he's in the building where he works. How does the Secret Service not know who he is?
Yeah, and they escorted him in. They brought him in. They brought him in, and then he identifies himself. I goes, I'm Senator Padilla, Alex Padilla, and they still threw him there. Oh, you shouldn't have done that, and you were gonna.
They have surveillance cameras. They have facial recognition.
Yeah.
How do you not know that a U.S. senator is in the room?
Yeah, that would be kind of like a bit more streamlined. Yeah, definitely.
Convenient timing of stoking racial disparity.
Yeah, they just wanted to throw him down. Oh, and then there was another one today. Happened today. I told Jim, I don't know if you went and verified it, because they said in the morning they verified it. A guy dressed up as a cop, okay,
Right.
went out and killed a representative, okay?
Right.
He killed a representative and shot 2 congressmen.
Damn.
Yeah. And because he was dressed up like a cop.
Everybody says, well, if you're in a cop uniform,
Yeah.
you must be a good guy.
You must be a good guy. And these stupid
Apparently, from what I saw, he was part of that No Kings group.
the ones they killed.
The one that did the killing and the shooting. He was part of the No Kings protest thing.
I don't know. They didn't say they caught him.
Oh,
They didn't say they caught him.
that's just what I heard. I might be wrong.
That's another one. Could I have another? Can I have beer?
Damn it!
Did you get rid of your empty?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
empty cans again.
Yeah, when it comes to the political climate in the U.S., I'm kind of
Oh, I have a good one for that.
not too keen on it.
Okay.
Oh, you don't pay attention to it too much.
Well, to like senators or like what Trump's doing.
Right.
I try not to. Just 'cause it's a lot to get into. 'Cause I like my own.
Okay,
And
good.
there's so much happening.
I got
Yeah,
another.
everywhere. You know, so I got my own philosophical things that I'm dealing with. You know.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, but that's kind of crazy how you guys said that guy got tackled and it's like, wait, what? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, here's
Dudes
the-
dressing up as cops. Like, what the hell? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Here's another one. You're gonna laugh at this one. My mom was putting on the religious channels. She likes to watch it. So there's this pastor, and he's all pro-Trump, and he's saying, "Oh, this and all that, and this Trump is this and this." So he calls this evangelical leader, who's the head of a seminary.
Yeah,
He's the one that gives the pastors their license.
yeah.
Nice.
And he goes, "What do you say?" He goes, with the Constitution." He goes, "What's wrong with the Constitution?" And he goes, the way it's going now is that whatever political party that it comes to dictates the way the Constitution leads to." That's what he says.
Okay, you lost me at the first sentence.
Okay, start over.
You lost me.
He goes,
Shrooms got
he
The shrooms.
no, what he said, he did go because
Whatever you're saying could be condensed into one sentence. I guarantee.
Run on.
that the whatever political party
Yeah,
has at
Majority
the time
power.
at the majority of power
yeah.
can influence which way the Constitution goes.
Yeah.
Good, you know, whatever.
You do know they say the Constitution is a living document.
Well, yeah,
It can be,
but
can be
yeah.
amended
But-
and
but-
changed.
but that's what
Yeah.
this evangelical
Yeah.
he's a head of. He goes, "It's not supposed to be like that." That's what he said. It's supposed to stay the way it is. It's not supposed to be changed. And then the guy goes, "Well, the Republicans this and the Republicans this," and then he goes, "What is your point of view?" He goes, "I haven't in my life." This guy's older. He looks like 80s.
Yeah.
He goes, "In my lifetime, I've never seen the Constitution more like the Nazi regime." That's what he said.
I mean,
This with Trump.
Yeah.
do you think it should be changed and doctored? The Constitution?
No, it shouldn't be changed because these guys are changing which way they want it to be, and then the lawyers, the judges, are going what they think. Like today, the state in the way, like for instance, the soldiers. Okay, they're not supposed to be here.
Okay.
According to the Constitution,
Soldiers.
The Marines.
the Marines
Okay.
and the National Guard.
I got them on video too.
The Marines and the National Guard are not supposed to be here.
No, there's an act in the Constitution called the Posse
Yeah.
Comitatus Act.
Yeah.
It says that the U.S. military is not supposed to be used against its own citizens.
Yeah. Only during an insurrection, like the Civil War,
Yeah.
or something like that. Well, anyway, Trump brought those troops here. Okay? The one that has the right to call them is the governor, not Trump.
Surpassing the government.
Yeah. So the judge of state of California
Yeah.
said, "Hey, you got to give these troops back to the. You got to give these troops back to the governor." So you know what? So when he went, so Trump went and cried. Trump went and cried to the Supreme. Trump went and cried to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court goes, "Oh, no, the troops belong to Trump."
I'm gonna go bring my girlfriend. I'll be right back.
Sure thing, sure thing.
You took soda water? Fuck it.
You heard of that,
How's it
right?
going, man? Nathan.
What happened today? That the
Were you
troops
the one
were
that
supposed to go
Yeah,
Well,
Newsom.
they
But-
fucking took my phone, dog.
I saw that.
They took your phone.
phone.
Who took your phone?
And they gave it back to
Agitators.
Trump.
Protester, they took his phone, man.
What bitch of a motherfucker.
Fuck it, man.
I hate to knock down Medina, but and then there's another one. What's the other one? No, I can't remember. Now
Wait. Hold on.
I believe in that. The people, even though
Wait, so what happened?
Oh, dude,
So he went to the protest too.
okay.
I went to the protest too, but I went as a counter protester.
Oh,
And I had a big cardboard sign, and on one side it said, "No commies or Mexican nationalists." It was kind of abbreviated, Mex-Nats, you know.
yeah.
And yeah, so I had that in big writing.
You made it out alive.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did good.
I turned around. I turned around, and on the back I put, "This is not Mexico."
Well, it ain't Mexico.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything controversial.
No.
No commies, cause fuck commies, and no Mexican nationalists.
Yeah.
And I was willing to explain what I'm willing to explain what I mean by that right now. Mexican nationalist, right?
Yeah.
A Mexican nationalist is someone who, if you were to ask them, "Hey, do you believe that this land is occupied Mexico? Do you think that California is
It's not,
occupied
it
Mexico?"
don't belong to Mexico no more.
They would say yes. And then if you were to further ask them, okay, well, do you want to relitigate then the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo? Yes. The answer is yes. So, you know, at the end of the day, a lot of these protesters, they don't care about the rule of law of our country. They don't care about
No.
being in our country.
Well,
They see California as a Mexican colony.
This is what I get in an argument for Mexican people.
Right.
I say, if you love Mexico so much,
Ray wants to talk to you.
Ray, where are you?
he got too drunk.
Finally, I'm able to touch you. Are you on the other end?
Yes, I am, Ray.
Hello?
You fucker. You went home already?
Hello?
He's calling you.
You went home already?
Anybody there? Medina, you can hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Fantastic. How was the protest today? I heard you got injured.
No, I ain't get injured, bro. I got lucky.
I just want to say that I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong. And I apologize for calling you what I called you. You're showing your face out in there at debate night tonight. I'm not showing up. I'm going to continue getting drunk.
Hey, that's fine, Ray.
Did you see Ray
I
over there?
apologize. You're man enough to appear to debate night tonight.
That's fine. I'll control the narrative for debate night tonight.
I don't know. I'm mad. I've heard so much shit now that I'm mad.
No, I think we can find common.
I'm gonna be.
Did he hang up already?
Yeah.
I like I said, like I brought up to him. I'm gonna tell to you. The June 6th riot shit,
January 6th.
January 6th. See, I'm all drunk already.
Right.
That mostly it was white people. There were some Mexicans, there were some black, but mostly it was white people.
Yeah, no, that's no doubt.
Okay. That they fought with federal troops there. I don't know. I know they're guards. But they fought with them. They went into a federal They broke into a federal property, and they got pardoned. Okay. And a lot of those fuckers that they pardoned went back and they did crimes. A lot of them, not a few of them, a lot of them did. Okay, that's hearsay now. Okay, now for these people, like him, he got hit in the head by a cop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because some woman got trampled and knocked over by a horse cop, and I was trying to pick her up, and I was kind of getting in the way because they were moving forward, and I was supposed to be moving back. So me and this dude were trying to pick her up because she fell on her head. And as I was trying to do that, I was kind of obstructing and getting in the way, and defying the dispersal order. But they weren't picking her up, and she was having a hard time getting up. And so one somehow or another I got conked on the head. I'm like, fuck it, I'm getting out of here.
Got hit with what?
They had like these wooden batons or something.
Remember what happened to Gary?
I don't know.
It didn't hurt too bad, but this is about shit.
I was
Fuck.
looking for you, bro. Where were you guys?
We were at the Federal Building, and then we went to Little Tokyo, and then we went up.
Right.
And that's where we were at.
But see, another thing, if I would have went young, if I was young, I would try to win. I would put that flag half American and half Mexican, because I'm half Mexican. And I would not put the flag upside down. Because, first of all, my dad fought for this country.
Right.
I'd be disrespecting him to the max. So I can't do that, you know what I mean? And that's another thing when I said, and I told you, bring it back again. These Mexican people that believe so much in Mexico, I go, if you love Mexico so much, go back. Why do you stay here?
What's that?
That's all I'm saying. I go, I'm not disrespecting Mexico.
Oh, I haven't
I
seen
just
that.
say, if you love it, so go back.
I gotta see
We
that
don't
one.
need you here.
Yeah.
And if you want to be counted here, like the poor ones that are working here,
It was
you know what I mean?
degenerate into this.
Well,
It was inevitable.
no, it was.
I warned you.
I've seen so much
knew it was
shit.
gonna degenerate.
I'm bringing all this shit
Talk
up
about
because
Star Wars better.
No, I
What are your thoughts? You know, some of the people who contribute to taxes and whatnot.
yeah, they
being
do.
deported. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't. Well, I question who is getting deported because
Well, of course.
because
Very hard to verify as an independent.
It's extremely hard to verify as an independent.
Oh, yeah.
And the problem is what you're having is legacy media. They're trying to push out these stories, hit after hit, which seems to be a hoax. Like it's a common thing that the media does when they're
They
trying
pick
to.
sides.
Of course they pick sides, but I mean, I hate to bring this guy up again, but the Kilmar Obrego Garcia guy.
Well, he according to what I hear,
Finish up your thoughts. You have 3 minutes.
Dude, Hector and Ray, man,
they're going to go into it.
dude, they unfriended me over this issue, Jim. I mean, it's
Well, no, but now with the way Trump is, that he even conceded.
I do
Okay,
agree
so-
there's
so-
a hard way to it's hard to verify. There's
I'll say this much.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just to comment on that, we'll comment more on it when Hector comes in. It's less about immigration, more about information and getting the truth and extrapolating the truth.
Yeah,
out.
lot of information is hearsay.
Yes.
But I want to get you one that I told Jim. That Naomi,
Christy Nome.
that Christy Nome,
what did you gonna say that?
she came
He's
on
jacked,
the
though.
news
He's
this
crossfaded.
morning,
No.
and she goes, "Oh, you
Shrooms and beer.
You heard it. You say what she said, Jim. What she said?
Send you back to Mexico.
Yeah, she goes.
But she didn't mention anybody.
She
else.
didn't mention anybody. She said, Mexico. And I go, you are stereotyping and you are prejudiced because they're not only Mexicans.
But then why are they flying primarily Mexican flags?
Well, yeah, well,
As a protest.
that's what I don't understand.
I could hold on. I could have addressed that because I honestly think because look, the reason why ICE is going into neighborhoods, the reason why they're doing that
Oh, it feels good.
is because they wouldn't allow ICE to go into to actual jails and get people who are criminals. So when the criminals are released from jail, they what do? They go to their neighborhood or they have to go to their workplace. That's why you see ICE raiding these neighborhoods.
But some of these,
Okay, gentlemen, you have exactly 2 minutes left
Okay.
to finish your thoughts.
they went into people were sewing. They went in there and they took out so many people.
Right.
Okay, now the ones at Home Depot, I don't know what they are. They can be criminals. They can be whatever.
But now I think at this point, I'll concede this. I think they've gone further than how.
Yes,
They've
that's
absolutely gone further.
and this is what I don't like about them too. They tell them, "Where's your badge?
Yeah.
Where's your badge?" And the bastards don't show it, and they laugh at them.
I think that there should be.
And they should at least show them their fucking badge. Hey, I work for the government. I am not no other people.
I'm legit.
Okay, I'll say this. I remember one time that Ray sent something to the chat regarding. Oh, what's up, man?
There he is. Elon Musk himself.
Hey!
Regarding like people who are undocumented, worried about getting deported. They should fucking treat the feds that are not naming themselves. Treat them like you would treat anybody else that's trying to kidnap you.
Yeah.
Set a precedent for like, okay, is the court gonna rule on this? Does ICE have to identify themselves now? Do they have to go through this process before they actually detain someone?
Okay, like I said,
I think the precedent should be set.
Jim wants to
Okay,
change.
next topic.
Okay. Since you guys weren't here when we talked about this, did
Right.
anybody see Senator Alex Padilla get thrown on the ground in handcuffs?
Yeah.
At the court building?
Yeah.
And the subject I brought up was, how does the Secret Service not know that there's a U.S. Senator in the building?
He didn't identify himself.
No, he did.
there's
There's a recording. There's a recording. It says, I am Senator Alex Padilla. And then they threw him down anyway.
He did it after he started rushing the stage.
Well, he didn't rush the stage.
No, he was at a press conference where there was no question time. He didn't identify himself. He didn't set something up.
Service's duty to know
Yeah.
who everybody is, where everybody is.
Yeah.
Just like they didn't know that idiot was up on the
Well,
roof.
that's
Shot at Trump.
Okay, that's a different story. I think that's interesting. But I think that when it comes to the Mr. Padilla guy, there's this thing that activists are doing where they're trying to take advantage of these kinds of shots, man. You know, there's senator badges that you could use to identify yourself. It's not standard operating procedure to just go into a place unannounced.
But they brought him in. They didn't.
It's their duty to.
No, they walked in.
I would agree there. I would ask what the fuck happened there.
You saw him. I've seen videos. They're walking him in. They know who he is. And then he goes, she's saying, and he's about to say, he goes, I'm Alex Padilla, and I'm against this, and boom! They threw him on the ground.
Have you seen The Sopranos?
I've seen it through TikToks.
Another one where like, how's this for standard operating procedure? He points the gun at her. And he said that, it reminded me of it.
I like that Polly guy. He's funny, bro.
And then you know what else happened today? Like I was telling you, I don't know if you heard of it. That 3 people got shot. One representative got killed.
Oh yeah.
And 2 more got shot. Now I don't know if they're Republicans, Democrats.
Finish your thoughts.
But they never got the guy yet.
I'll say this: on paper, it was a Democrat. But I don't buy that. I do think that there are some. I'll like probably Ray and Hector will agree with me on this. I think there's shady shit going on there. I think there's shady shit going on there.
But again, he was dressed as a cop. That's what they said.
Yeah, I don't really see the circumstances regarding the story are so shady.
Yeah.
Donovan,
Because they have pictures of him and he looked like a friggin' Michael Myers. I don't know, man.
Today's Friday the 13th too. Yesterday was Friday the 13th.
what's up? My chicken scratching. No,
Yeah.
Oh God, that hurts.
About Northern Irish burning homes of migrants that raped a girl.
Okay, so the other day, Uncle Drac here, he's from Ireland.
Yeah.
He sent me these posts on X about these migrants that ended up raping this girl.
Yeah. An Irish girl?
Yeah, an Irish girl.
Yeah.
And
I heard
the Irish people got like really pissed off at that, and so they found out where these dudes lived and burned their homes.
Oh shit. Well, where were these guys from?
Drac, where are they from? I think they're. He said that they're Muslims of some sort, but or at least the post did.
Oh,
If I was a Muslim, I wouldn't set foot in Ireland.
There's plenty of them there right now.
yeah.
And Africans and Indians.
Well, you hear what happened to Iran?
Oh, Iran?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. It's not. I don't.
No, Israel went and fucked him over.
Yeah, they definitely did.
I
I don't like that exactly.
I actually knew it was coming. No, Jim.
For a few of those.
Jim, you knew it was coming. Iran's talking shit, and who's the little boy that does the dirty work for the United States?
Right.
Israel.
See,
I think it's the other way around.
I think
No, we don't. That was all. Israel knows that eventually Iran's gonna go fuck with Iran. Iran's gonna go fuck with Israel.
Iran.
Yeah.
So they're going.
Yeah, Iran.
They went and struck first, and I'm happy. That's what they get for opening their big fucking fat mouth. Yeah, no.
I agree. I agree.
And they threat the whole world's not going to get involved because everyone, the only ones that might be on their side, what? The only ones that might be on their side is South Korea.
Andrew, didn't you forget about BRICS? British, Russia, Iran, China. What's the S?
Here's the thing.
I forget who the S is.
They're not us. That's all.
After
Yeah.
World War II,
But
let me get on the
Well,
mic.
Israel's us, and that's gonna start some shit.
No, but they fucked them over. I knew it was going to
I'm
happen.
listening to Motley Crue. Okay.
I follow he's always posting about like stuff going on in Palestine right now. It's pretty fun.
It's really bad.
After World War II, there was a lot of guilt about the Holocaust, and the United States and Britain, the UK, were the first ones to push for Israel to be created.
To a degree, yes.
Yeah. And I'm like, why did you create a nation in the Middle East?
I don't know that part.
Why didn't you create it in Russia?
Yeah.
Where they would have been more welcome.
Yeah.
They stick out in the Middle East, and it's caused nothing but tension since I was in elementary school. What do you think about that?
Didn't they actually do a Russia in the Far East, but it didn't work out because Jews didn't want that land because it was like
it's not the Holy Land.
Cold and destitute.
Only
They actually think that
very holy.
they're descendants of the ancient Hebrews, which they're not. Most of them can trace their DNA back to Russia or Eastern Europe.
Or Poland.
Yeah.
Or Ashkenaz. Or Khazaria.
Don't let them believe it, man.
They're not ancient Hebrews.
Yeah.
So they built a nation of Israel in the wrong place.
I can't defend that. No, I don't think, I'm the biggest Zionist here, right?
Yeah.
I can't fucking defend that at all. And
You're a Zionist too?
A Zionist, in my definition, thinks that Israel has the right to exist.
Well, of course, every country has a right
Now-
to exist, except Iran.
I think, obviously,
I'm
Israel's
prejudiced.
establishment was part of biblical prophecy.
I'm a prejudiced bastard.
I keep on telling them, if you go back down to bare bones philosophical,
I know they're gonna kill me.
people deserve the right to an undisturbed
There's
life.
no question they deserve their own
That's
homeland.
what I go down to bare bones. That's it.
Yeah.
But why did they put it where they did?
There's nothing there anyway.
I think that's the case. See, I think Israel, the people that move to Israel, they want an undisturbed life. 80% of them, I'd say, 95%, let's say, let's be kind. They want an undisturbed life, but yes, their masters that be put them in a very precarious situation where everyone around them fucking hates them.
Yeah.
And honestly, there is a problem with Muslims where you could take advantage of the fact that they have this philosophy of conquering.
Yeah.
And where it's by necessity for them to achieve what they want to achieve. Everyone in the world has to submit to Islam. That's
Yeah,
kind of
that's in their doctrine.
that's kind of the problem, and that's when you were talking about Iran earlier. Yeah, it's fucking gay and retarded to support
You know
Israel and go to
what?
war for Israel, but
You know-
the people
Right.
we're dealing with are People have to understand the terrorist mindset. They don't care. They don't give a fuck about your rules.
No.
They'll use your rules against you. They will lie. They'll be pedantic when they argue with you. They don't care about anything in particular. You have to be extremely equipped to argue with someone like that. And when you are, they become violent because they have no other recourse. That's how it is.
Right.
That's what happens.
So,
Right.
I'm really ignorant to that. As in, I don't know what's going on there exactly. I like I said, I follow people who post about like Palestine and whatnot. I see people getting bombed and murdered on both sides. On both sides.
But you know that Iran has sent terrorists to France, has sent terrorists to England, has sent terrorists to Russia, has sent terrorists to Japan. They sent terrorists to their own other countries in
In the Middle East.
Arabs. The only ones they have never sent terrorists to is in China and I think Korea.
So my question is, what
But-
exactly?
They never get across the border.
I don't think that's part of the climate.
But what I'm saying, the whole
What is going on
fucking
with
world
Israel and Palestine?
hates them.
At the end of the day.
I'm very biased towards.
No, right.
The
Because I
whole,
think it has the right to exist.
that's why. No, but
So
the
I'm gonna
whole
frame it in that way.
the whole
But what
world
is going
hates
on?
them.
What do the Palestinians want?
The only ones
Okay,
that
so
don't
the
hate them are
Palestinians-
China and South
What they
Korea.
want, some of them, of course, they want sovereignty. They're being told their whole life.
In Japan too.
Hey,
Japan is
Hold on,
like,
Ed, hold on.
The big Jew is fucking
Japan is like
oppressing
a
you.
friendly country.
There's this
Rejected by the
child's.
West.
I know.
Let me see,
I
there's
know.
this kid show. It's called Tomorrow's Pioneers.
Pioneers of Tomorrow.
Pioneers of Tomorrow, right? The way that their mindset is this is why I differentiate terrorism between like someone that has radical beliefs, because us, when we see coffins coming back from war, we see that as a sad thing. We mourn that. When they see coffins coming back from war, they celebrate it. They're like, yes, he died for the cause.
Right.
That's when you mentally think like that. They're willing to do anything to win.
You guys want some mushrooms?
Hey!
They brought some earlier.
If I honestly didn't have work tomorrow,
You could take you could take them with you.
You could take them and I won't try them.
What's Hector doing?
I think it was cool.
Oh, you had to go get her.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, I would like Hector to be here to try so you could see the argument back.
I'm
and
on
forth
Hector's
between someone
side this
Where did
time.
Hector go?
pick up his girl.
At the end of the day, I just don't want people fucking dying, and that's what I see.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Oh, yeah,
People
yeah,
dying
yeah.
On both ends, on every end, on the Palestinian side, on the Israel
in
side.
Donovan,
Nobody should fucking
The
die.
Palestinians are tools being used by the rest of the Islamic world
Yeah.
in order to kind of be like this martyr class.
Before Jim moves on,
Yeah.
I want to. Before Jim moves on,
Final thoughts?
I want to point out a staggering similarity of, at the very least, Hasidic Jews and Muslims. Have you ever seen Hasidic Jews put those black straps around their arms and then attach a cube to their head?
Yeah, I've seen that.
And then they do their prayers?
I don't trust the Hasidim.
And then
Of the Jews, the Hasidim are different.
That's-
They're the tunnel Jews, bro. They're the
that
tunnel Jews.
right, that's the black cube of Satan, for those of you that don't know. And the Muslims, they make their big fat trip to, what is it, Mecca?
Yeah, the Mecca, sir.
And they dance around, and they mosh pit around the Kaaba.
No, they don't. Yeah.
Well, what the?
Some people say that's a meteorite.
They're both into this black cube shit.
Yeah, it's satanic, bro.
Right.
People don't like to admit that. It's
It's
very
some-
cliche
it's
to
some
say.
Stanley
Islam
Kubrick.
is a satanic religion.
They're more similar than they'd like to admit.
It's from Stanley Kubrick.
Well,
You know the 2001 Space Odyssey?
I got to do my research on
Oh,
that.
that monolith.
Like I said, I have a Palestinian friend who'll argue the fuck out of you.
I'd
Right?
love to.
Right? But she's very like, Jews are like Israel's girls, Israel's girls.
It's
you know?
because people look, and Don, I'm gonna say this. I think you have it too.
All right, final thought from Medina, and then
Yeah.
Jim's
I'm
next
not on any
topic.
side. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going
A
on.
lot of people have Jew brain rot.
Yeah.
They have Jew brain rot, and they you know, if it fucking rains on their birthday, it's the Jews' fault, bro.
Yeah.
I understand.
Donovan.
I understand Jew brain rot. I understand it because, you know, you look at all these people who are pushing like, oh, minor attracted person, transgender for kids. I know, and it's always some
We can get into
Shitsky
that later.
or Lebowski that fucking is pushing this shit. Some atheist Jew that you know. That is pushing this shit. So I can understand why people
Right.
have
Final thoughts,
Jewish brain
gentlemen?
rot syndrome. There, that's
One thing, if you study religion the way I have, you know that
Theism, yes.
Muslims and Jews,
Theology, sorry.
they both believe in the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Muslim people believe that they are restoring the original faith of Abraham, and that somehow Jews corrupted it along the way.
I didn't take a class on theology.
They even have the same dietary laws. Okay, so while they're Jew bashing,
Kosher halal.
Halal. Yeah, you can, yeah. You can. Fucking Jews.
Where all this Jew bashing came from
in
Hitler.
our notes, we put
Hey,
do Jews own the media and the publishing industry?
well, that's
What
a
do you think
broad. I mean, I think there's a bigger picture to that, but to put it down to one specific fucking.
Hey, you know what I don't understand? Fucking Trump is a Jew. He is. He comes from his grandparents are Jewish.
Son-in-law is Jewish.
Yeah, his son-in-law is Jewish. No, but Trump himself is Jewish.
Adolf Hitler actually had some Jew in him.
Yeah.
DNA-wise.
Yeah.
The problem is, okay,
Fucking Hitler wasn't even a German.
Lenin's a Jew.
I was talking about this with Donovan the other day. There was a stand-up comedy routine by the comedian Dave Chappelle, and he on Saturday Night Live, and he goes, you know, I don't want to bash the Jews or anything. He goes, but I've been out in Hollywood and I've been doing comedy for some 30 years, and he goes, there's a lot of Jews out there. A lot of Jews.
Yeah.
And that's some.
You've met some of them?
But the Mexicans are coming to take over.
Hey, viva la raza.
Would you be a
Well, who's in charge of Mexico? A Jew.
I don't know them anymore. I don't know anymore, but I met them. That'd be cool though, if I have a Jew.
I want to confront someone who is actually Jewish.
You gotta go to Fairfax for that, man.
I work,
The jewelry district?
I wish we had a Jew
Fairfax,
person.
you know they got the old what is that deli right there, the
I-
Cantor Delicatessen. There's a Jewish deli.
I worked, or I currently work around there. I actually ran into a small hat outside of the fucking store.
That's what they get called sometimes. Bagel lovers.
And I talked to him about the Israel-Palestine conflict. I'm like, you know what, man? I sympathize actually with your cause. Like, bro, I understand. Like, these Palestinians, bro, they're very much willing to lie and do whatever it takes to man.
Israel isn't a really fucked up situation where they're at, like around.
Oh yeah, and I think
like
that
in
was
the
meant to
fucking
be.
epicenter.
I think that was meant to be.
The epicenter.
I think that was meant to be.
Because
But
I'm mad right now. When I see
Yeah, because around them is surrounding Muslim. Right?
Did you know that's the point?
here's what
Did you know that's part of the psychological operation?
It's like,
Oh, and
To invoke wrath? Did you know that?
Oh.
You're falling for the bait!
okay.
honestly, I could.
You're a fish.
Not hurting anyone.
You want to know something?
He's a guppy.
But I feel like every
Guys, finish.
everyone has their bad apple.
Let me tell you what I think Trump is trying to do.
Hey, fuck
I think he scaled back. He conceded that he's not going to be going after so many Mexicans. Supposedly,
Didn't we go through this?
no,
already?
but let me just say one thing. I forgot to say this.
Well, he'll say another one in 10 minutes.
No,
Broken record.
No, but let me just say one thing. I told you about my prophecies before. I said it was going to happen.
He was pretty right. He's been pretty right about it so far. I gotta give him that.
Okay,
He rambles, but he's been right about that.
but this is what I think he's trying to do with
I
California.
always laugh about
This is what I think he's trying to. He's trying to get the Latinos all fired up, all the races fired up, so he can start, so he can declare
Civil War.
No. So he could declare martial law.
That's what I've come to find out, bro.
And then he can have free.
Or enact the insurrection.
Yeah, so he can have free reign over California.
Andrew.
He wants that.
You want that?
Tiananmen Square solution.
But that thing, no. I mean, if he don't like you, if you don't, he's gonna be like Hitler. If you don't like you, he's gonna pick you off the street and you'll never be hurt again.
Good. I don't know. Look, I mean,
No, that's the martial law.
Yeah.
Martial law is very, very, very bad thing.
I get that. Yeah, I
He
understand
and I
that.
are way older than you guys. We grew up in the era of the USSR. When I was in college, I knew people who escaped from the USSR.
Yeah, I did too.
And they told me it was a very bad way of life.
Yeah.
Growing up under a total authoritarian society like that, they said was bullshit. They listen in on your phone conversations. They'd open up your mail, read your mail.
I saw the video.
They can tell you who. They can tell you who to get married to. You can't marry this person. What job you can do? If they want you to, you go to school, and then if you're good at one thing, that you're stuck in that for the rest of your life. Yeah. You can't change no more.
Yeah, they determined the former USSR. If they decided you can't go to college, you would never go to college.
Yeah, you'll be working in a fucking factory or a farm for the rest of your life.
They should have done what China did.
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, China's a little better than fucking Russia was.
And they
A little better.
And
I didn't say the same.
Oh, I saw that. Right,
They gave him back brain dead.
and he died, right?
I think so. He
Yeah,
died.
he did.
Wait, what do you?
Otto Warmbier wrote
That's what
You're talking about what?
Otto Warmbier, what happened with North
He's trying to take that
Korea?
poster now.
not the bad martial law.
He tried to take a poster
Martial
down.
law.
Jim, what do you know about what they're talking about right here? Tell Jim.
Otto Warmbier, the guy that was taken by North Korean officials,
I haven't heard his name.
he was returned basically kind of brain dead, and he died like a
Vegetative
week
state.
later. Yeah, vegetative state. And he was returned a week later. He was an American.
Oh, last meeting we were talking about zombies.
Pretty much. I guess he tried to steal like a poster or something, take it, they caught him, and they had him like imprisoned and possibly tortured or whatnot.
Okay, this
probably
is
fucking
this is
ass.
a good segue into our next subject.
Yeah, I heard of that. Not the name, but I've heard of the situation. That's fucked. Yeah.
I have to bring that up.
Okay, I wouldn't do that. You know, I
Okay.
would just visit to see what the fuck's going on.
Perfect segue into our next subject.
What kind of cereal do they have? I don't know.
Anybody been hearing about this new zombie drug that's been spreading across Los Angeles?
Fentanyl, no.
That's part of it.
What do they call it, Donovan?
They call it trank.
Yeah.
It's
That's huge in like San Fran.
Animal tranquilizer
It's like a
mixed
horse
with
trank.
fentanyl.
yeah, it's a rhino tranquilizer mixed with fentanyl. Yeah.
I've seen that. I've heard of that.
And it creates actual zombies.
Yeah,
Not just mentally, but your body starts rotting and falling apart.
If you administer it the wrong way,
like
yes.
Day
it
of the
does.
Dead.
Well, if you do it for long enough, I guess even if you do it right, quote unquote, you'll start getting nasty flesh wounds, and eventually bugs will start getting in them, and you're wasting away.
Mad cow disease.
I just like my weed. And I
Can't pull
like
up any
my.
pictures of that.
Hey, man,
I could, yeah. Here, let me go on the computer
No,
real quick.
they showed a. There's a video on it because they showed two cops watching somebody, and the girl's like this, all fucked up. She's face is all black, and she's going. Ah! She's yelling and she's going. Ah! Like an epileptic fits.
methamphetamine, and he was clean for 3 years. He got a good job, started making about $30 an hour. Still wasn't content, and kind of too close to home, you know. And recently he relapsed, and now he's out in the streets again doing drugs. But he suffers from what I suffer, which is like really bad ADHD, and obviously trauma, and susceptible to certain things.
Like addictions, right?
Yeah, addictions. Like for example, like I mean, they started young, you know, doing stuff like that, but. He gets sober for 3-4 years, you know, comes clean, starts making good money, gets his own car.
There he is.
Look what the cat dragged in.
Look what the cat dragged in.
Don't worry about it, bro.
Hector!
I'm not a Nazi. I'm all on your side today.
Cynthia, welcome back.
Except for Iran.
I'm a Nazi.
I'm happy as those fucking.
On this pizza, the
Israel's not fucking them up.
They're bombing the shit out of
Like
it.
I would say,
I should have followed.
He likes war, dude.
No, I don't like war.
That's
I
what the
just
fuck
don't
that
like
is.
Iran.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I just don't like Iran.
some people are more susceptible
There's
to
one of
drugs
those
than
meat
others.
boxes
It really depends.
left the last time.
I think like heroin isn't doing it anymore. And it's cheaper. I'm assuming it's cheaper than.
Fentanyl, well, you can get like a tab of fentanyl for $5.
That's crazy.
It was funny. Some homeless guy today asked me for $5 cash.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's like, can you give me something to eat and $5 cash? I give him food and $5 cash.
You get $5.
$5 cash.
I'll
is
give,
pretty
if you're
specific.
gonna see a homeless person, go buy him the food.
I did buy him.
Why is it so
Yeah,
cheap?
don't
though?
give
That's
him
kinda
money.
cheap for what it's supposed to. I mean, look.
How they make it so cheap.
Yeah, isn't fentanyl supposed to fuck you up?
A lot of it comes from China.
Yeah. It's pharmaceutical.
I
It's a pharmaceutical, yeah.
I don't
It's from
understand.
China.
I've tried math before. It's a different kind of.
China makes it.
Yeah,
Mexico
Well, like I
supplies it.
said for my cousin, like somebody with ADHD.
But what would,
you know?
Yeah, but what would fentanyl be like
Like the
though?
entire ocean.
By comparison.
Well,
Well, it
no,
gets
the-
shipped
it's
over
a
here.
Cartel.
Well, think about it. They
the
like
cartels
medical
get
they
it,
use it for like
and they ship it
pain,
in.
and so I'm pretty sure it. I
That's
wouldn't
that's
say
how
it's
it's
like
going.
there's no
And the cartels,
benzodiazepine, but
there's
I'm pretty sure
cartels
you get some sort
In
of
Canada, Mexican
numbing
cartels.
effects,
In
mental
Canada, they're
effects,
bringing it.
physical
It's not the
effects, you know?
Canadians that are
It really
bringing it
depends,
in.
honestly.
It's the
I'm not
Mexican
familiar with
cartels
fentanyl, but
that are bringing it.
going off of it, they use it in severe like
Good.
cases or pain
What do you mean
cases
good?
at hospitals.
It's good that
He's for that.
people are getting addicted because then people die. So
So I think it's different when you're
That's people.
trained.
Everything just drops. You get rid of the
The less population like that one that
yeah.
control the
Like Darwin's
theory.
what about Darwin's theory?
The
Theory of evolution.
The theory of evolution. The smart, the survival of
People
the.
deserve that? If they're stupid enough to do it?
Yeah, they are
Like I
people
said, some
stupid
more
enough to
susceptible
do it.
certain things.
You don't think you're susceptible to that?
Well, you
I
probably,
told right now,
unless somebody gives
I
you
told
that
right now, my
drug
cousin,
by accident, now
4
you
years
got
sober. 4 years
that. That's not
was
your
4 years
fault.
sober off of meth.
Okay.
Started getting a good job, making $30.
Somebody
an hour,
wants-
working, got his car, everything started getting him. Went back to it again. And he suffers from what I have, like ADHD. But my dad side has bad ADHD. So I think like depend. And he said it. What did you say that people use
I don't
it
do that shit.
As an escape.
as an escape?
Escape from
As
what,
far
bro?
as you
What do you
know.
think they're escaping from?
From whatever the fuck they're thinking about.
I know, I like
Some
that.
people, for
I
example,
put on
I
the-
told you I started going on that philosophical rabbit hole. I'm very ignorant to how
I
to deal
remember
with stuff like that because I feel like I'm not educated
Got my other
in
part
that
in-
aspect of how to deal with it
Wait, did
in
they-
a
did they
correct
ship it to
manner.
Europe?
So I'm just going back
In a
and
healthy
forth.
manner, that is,
in a
yeah.
healthy manner.
Huh?
So I'm going
ship it
with
to
my
Europe?
ADHD. I'm going around in circles. Where
They
on one
ship
side
it-
I have
I don't think it's as big of a.
China-
It's not as big of a problem over there.
But on the other side I have no, that's
China
not right. That's not right.
can flow
So I'm going back
anywhere.
and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
The
If I learn on how to like not
Control it?
control, not necessarily control, but how to go about it in a healthy manner, so that I can be like, yeah, that's food for thought. Doesn't necessarily have to dictate everything that I am, I guess. But with like my cousin, him was more like.
Can you pass that around? I've been eating
I want to be
mushrooms.
in life and I'm not doing good.
Oh, Hex.
Heck, here, give them to him.
Hey,
And he went back to it.
Hex. You want some shrooms?
Where'd you get shrooms from?
Jim's homies brought them.
Friends came over earlier.
You can have them.
Really?
Yes. I won't want them. I ate some.
Wait, how old is your cousin? We'll go right back to
29.
Matt.
29.
29 years old.
No, that's what I like. I grew up.
Like
You
that?
like that? I love it. I love it.
I grew up with that, and I like smoking weed.
But why do people do drugs? I mean, that's a whole other debate on itself.
Final thoughts, gentlemen.
I wouldn't say that they're stupid enough to do it, but they do it for a reason.
You know what? This is the best, actually, explanation I've ever.
I don't know why the sound got cut off.
Some people just have fighting spirits. They have the fighting spirit in them, and
Next to my buddy,
they like to be in battle. So being inebriated is for living life inebriated is like going through life
No, you're
like
Nazi.
in a battle.
This is the only reason why I support
Let me ask
the
you
U.S.
something.
assault.
Do you
Because I
think you
control
fall
this
into
country.
a survival situation battling for your life?
The yellow ones?
Yeah, I don't think so. Do you think you would actually do pretty good in a situation battling for your life?
I would assume so. Yeah.
Bring it back.
My grandparents.
I can't
My grandfather was
I get that. So
Oh.
totally mad.
that's why.
They can't turn it off.
Yeah,
I don't know about my
that's
other
why I think
grandfather,
that,
but
But not communist next
my
time.
mother's father was
I think you'd be a battle.
Okay, gentlemen.
But that's why you fall into the addiction.
Good
because
finishing thoughts.
All right.
life as a battle.
And we're gonna segue into.
Oh, that was my bad, Drake. That was my bad.
Donovan
I should've
wrote
fixed
down a
that.
lot of notes. So, from that subject,
I didn't have the sound source on the for that scene.
talk about the pharmaceutical industry.
Big Pharma.
Big pharma.
Part of it.
Okay.
don't, Bob. They say they give you all my drugs.
Hey, I just take antidepressants.
This guy takes
Not pretty large, man.
a whole medicine
very
I
cabinet.
take a whole damn medicine.
Mexico is very forgiving. It's a very forgiving medication.
I guess it
The
depends
thing
on
is-
the way you take it.
It's an SSRI. There's only
Oh,
one.
I don't take it. I
don't
hate
take
it, but I have to take it.
I don't take benzodiazepines. I don't take benzodiazepines.
Okay, every time my elderly mom or dad would go to the doctor, they'd come out of the doctor's office with a bag of pills. If they know that
$5.
if they know that you have medical
$5
insurance,
antidepressants,
Yeah,
believe it or not.
they'll give you-
Really?
they're
That's how
gonna
much I
give
pay.
you whatever pills they can.
Before or after insurance?
So the thing,
After, sorry.
Oh, okay.
so the thing is,
Without $16, I think.
you
That's
see
not too
all
bad.
these pharmaceutical drugs being advertised on television. The United States is one of the only countries in the world that allows prescription drug advertising on television. Other countries don't allow that. I think the only other one is New
I've seen it like
Zealand.
in your car before, but
So,
England don't do that?
I fucking
no,
How about Canada?
no, Canada doesn't.
It's just U.S. and New Zealand.
Yeah.
Really?
you think he's crazy now? You should have seen it before.
So,
Seems like those were.
he's not even communist, dude.
Exactly. See, I told you.
so the thing is,
I guess.
He's chilled out.
you get
Oh, you need a chair?
once you see these pharmaceutical
I can get you one for
drugs,
back there, hold on.
prescription drugs advertised on television,
Well, she can sit on the couch if she's more comfortable. That too.
3 or 4 years later, you're gonna see a class action lawsuit saying that this drug causes severe side effects.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
what happens is people file these class action lawsuits, and the pharmaceutical companies have
They'll
to
pay.
They have to pay out.
Oh, yeah, but they pay it.
They have to pay out millions of dollars in settlements. The thing is, through their sales, they've already made
Yeah.
billions of dollars, billions with a B.
Yeah.
So
Septillion.
yeah, so it's a drop in the bucket to them. They
Yeah.
know they're gonna get
It's alright,
sued.
they're free.
They know they're gonna have to pay settlements, but they've already made their billions.
Yeah.
So
When Drac goes on Rumble, he sees ads for pharmaceuticals.
Who goes on? Who goes on? Because Rumble appeals to the
Like this new one, this new drug that.
Damn.
to the
That
Fox
Ozempic?
News.
One that
I'm mentally
for
ill.
weight loss. You watch this. Watch the.
oh, in a few years,
In a few years, they're going to be saying all kinds of shit.
Well, they're already finding people that take Ozempic and other semaglutides. They're experiencing stomach paralysis,
I heard.
which I didn't even know was a freaking thing.
Someone told me that you could be like susceptible to strokes or something like that with
Yeah,
some
and
like
blindness too.
Blindness?
Yeah, there's blindness.
Oh shit! I take. They give me a
No more seeing Star Wars. Andrew.
They give me a medication, but it's for diabetes. It's not for. It's supposed.
It's almost as bad as Ozempic.
Yeah, I know. But it's supposed to control my blood sugar.
Where's Raymond is calling?
Oh, Raymond's calling you again?
Raymond, fucking Nate said you're a coward. You're all talk, no bite. What's going on? What's going on? Where you at? Are you pulling up or what? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll probably still be here. Let me know what time you're pulling up, though.
Pull up.
Yeah, try to pull up.
You call me.
Hey, what Raymond is that?
What's up?
What Raymond is that?
Remember Raymond? Fucking
I know. That guy was insane.
That's the one I was talking
You know what
about.
He'll come up to you like, look, I'm the devil.
Yeah, I know.
He'll squint his eyes to look like the devil.
That's why I like Raymond.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, who's a character?
He'll come up like in full camo, like
He still does.
Fidel Castro.
No, yeah, no.
Isn't that his last name Castro?
What's up?
What's his last name? Raymond?
Castillo.
Yeah. Oh, Castro.
Castillo.
Fucking pull like Fidel Castro.
Wait, so what was the question about the pharmaceuticals? What about them?
That they're getting away with.
Murder?
They pay out millions of dollars in settlements, but they make billions in profits.
And one of them,
And they know at the beginning.
Well, the
and
pharmacists
one
get
of
paid
them,
too for
I hate to
prescribing
say
them.
it,
And the doctors.
Pelosi.
Yes, sir.
Pelosi's. I know I'm a Democrat, but
Andrew, have you
but
tried to
no,
go?
I'm just saying
Who's
that her
Andrew?
husband was in big pharma.
Are you Andrew?
Talking about politics.
That's Andrew right
No,
Andrew.
I'm just saying.
What's his name? Drax says, have they tried to get you a gastric band?
I won't play with that.
No,
No.
He said he won't play with
I
that.
heard very bad things about that.
Well,
No,
that
it's better that you got those Ozempic and get those bands.
The lap band.
The lap band. There's so many sues about that thing. It's not funny.
Well, those things work great as long as you're not a fat fuck and you eat beyond. You don't eat beyond what you're supposed to.
Yeah.
They work great.
Do you guys believe that there's some good cases in medicine?
Well, there's some. There's some.
What do you SSRIs?
SSRIs, yeah.
Isn't that what the school shooters do before they kill themselves?
Oh.
Well, I've been on it for 4 years and I haven't wanted to shoot a fucking school.
Well, I mean,
Almost
Why-
every school shooter or public shooter has been
the
on
way
some
that
sort
I've
of
seen it
prescription
is-
medicine.
Don't go down any political rabbit hole.
Well, then I better
People
go
get
start
prescribed,
getting
like
my
for
gun.
example, and I don't take them.
I better get my gun.
Benzodiazepines. which
Go,
are
but I
Xanax.
ain't gonna go to. I ain't
I
gonna go
don't
to
take
school.
those because
I'll go-
they numb you.
I
down.
know
They
where the
really do
perfect
numb you
place.
out. You're
But I'm
supposed
not
to take
gonna
them
say
as
that.
needed for anxiety. Let's say you have a panic attack right now. I give you a
where it's
benzodiazepine.
okay.
It does
You know
something
where
with your
there's a perfect
neurotransmitters to chill you the fuck out.
By the freeway,
You-
on top of the
Some are even
freeway,
tranquilizers. Some are even
There's a
tranquilizers.
place where you
Who
can
prescribed
see
you
the
the
CA.
So the way that I got it was
If
my
you really
psychiatrist.
wanted to,
Psychiatrist? Why do you say a psychiatrist?
Because I
I'm
was
just
having
saying.
panic attacks, anxiety attacks every day for a year, and it turned into a depression.
I'm not that kind of a person, but I'm just saying.
So I could
I've seen
deal with
that
the
spot.
anxiety and
I'm
panic
100.
attacks.
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with the
You
depression.
picked the best
When you
spot.
start tasting like cardboard, to me that's not normal.
It doesn't taste like cardboard.
You've been on the Long Beach.
I don't feel anything. I don't feel any like sedation.
Donovan.
Nothing. I
You
can,
just don't care no more.
On,
not that I don't care anymore. It's more that
what's the name of that? By the
I
college.
need your ear over here. And
technically, if there wasn't anything wrong with
But
it,
if you really
chemically, it
wanted
wouldn't have
to.
worked.
Like
Right?
Andrew.
So
Good.
the
Andrew,
idea is
talk
I
to
have
that
a-
freeway.
a-
Andrew!
a
Andrew,
workout
I'm going to
with
give you a chance to
serotonin and
go off
dopamine
right
in my
now.
brain.
What?
That's like the technical aspect of it.
Okay,
so the
he's talking about
so the
the-
SSRIs help with that to help regulate the serotonin in your brain.
What happened when your brother Tony went off his medications? What kind of
Well, he
stuff?
snapped.
What kind of stuff did he do around the
You
house?
snapped.
I won't snap, but I'll have withdrawals. That's it.
You have withdrawals?
He-
I will if I stop
he-
taking
he- my
cold
brother,
turkey, because that's the
Look at you.
serotonin balance going on in my
My
brain. If I
brother
just stop
always
the cold
kept
turkey-
saying
Okay, you
that
got the floor, Andrew.
the government was after him.
Well, that's probably paranoia or schizophrenia.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's
Your brother's
schizophrenia.
schizophrenia, yeah.
And he kept saying that the TV is hearing you.
Yeah.
That's not wrong.
Yeah, something.
You wanna know something?
And he was pulling the light sockets out.
Yeah.
Putting
yeah,
gum
yeah,
in the
electricity.
fixture.
Your brother's still here with us?
No, well, yeah, Tony's been here. He's been even talked to us.
Yeah, he's
But
Wait, what? Excuse me?
He's been here
Yeah, he's been here to our meetings before.
When?
a couple of times.
Yeah.
He's been
Remember
here a
you took
couple
him
of
home?
That's his dad.
Remember you took him home?
His dad. His dad is
Wait,
my brother.
oh, your dad has schizophrenia?
Or paranoia. One of
Yeah,
them.
paranoia. Okay, we're not talking about Daniel. Daniel's
Even worse.
worse.
What does
But Daniel is different. Daniel, he will never hurt nobody. As far as I know.
We're not
if
talking
anything,
about. That's
the
not why I
medication
brought
has-
you into this conversation.
And if anything, the medication has
Tell
decreased my
tell
anger.
them what Tony used to do when he went off his meds.
Oh yeah, he's over there. He wants to hurt everybody, cutting wires. You want to
He's banging on the satellite.
the high voltage of the house. You know the
Playing with the breaker box.
the breaker box. He's trying to knock the power off. I go, okay, you can hit the fuses. That's 110 volts.
Well,
That'll fucking fry you, but
Yeah.
it's not gonna kill you. But you hit that one, the high tension one, the one that comes from the power to the box. That'll light you up like you'll be like a fire.
Well, my cousin who comes down from meth does the same thing.
Yeah.
And what would he say about the government and all
And the
that?
government
Same
was
thing.
always
Had you
cheering in.
understand?
My cousin was saying the same thing. The last time I spoke to him, he was like, "Hey, watch out with the wiring on the floor because it starts messing with your brain."
Wait, is your cousin schizophrenic? Or
No, it was more of a drug-induced psychosis because when he's on medication and he's not doing meth, he's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's like
besides
Tony.
the
Is it the
ADHD.
same guy who was like not on meth or back on meth, got a good job, went back on
Yeah,
meth?
yeah, yeah.
Same
So,
guy?
so he started going on Zoloft, and he went back on to working. He had like $30 an hour. You know, good job. Got his car. Got
That's
his
the
life
same
back.
guy.
Same guy. He started doing meth again, and he stopped taking his meds. Started doing meth again, and that's when he started getting like the paranoia thoughts. But that is from the drugs. The drugs induced that.
Yeah.
Not. I've met a female actually who went to our school. I'm not gonna say who, but I've like hung out and hooked up with her.
Oh, that's what happened to
And
my brother.
She started doing like heroin and hard drugs, and she became susceptible to schizophrenia. So she became schizophrenic.
That's exactly the.
See, You're,
That's
going,
a-
you're going in a different direction.
But no, that's
Everybody
exact-
knows that hard drugs can screw up.
Well,
your brain.
that's
But-
exactly what happened
but-
to Tony.
But when your brother went off his
Because
medication,
they're not helping him
he's-
anymore.
He got worse.
Right.
Yes.
Right, but because
But he fucked up in the beginning. He already
Wait.
he already had signs of dementia when he started fooling around with the drugs in the first
Yeah.
time. And then we told him, they took him in, they helped him. He was all right, but then the dementia, because he went off
Right.
he went off his, and he went back to the drugs, and he fucked himself over, and they took him back, and they broke
well,
his
don't you think it
spirit.
makes sense? Imagine you're
They
on meds.
broke, but
What do
they
you mean? Wait, what
they
do you-
broke
what do you
his
mean?
spirit.
Right here.
Then
Imagine you're on meds, you're cool, and all of a sudden you go off of them. Obviously, you're gonna act up. I mean,
Yeah.
Right, of course.
Of course, you know that's gonna happen.
but he
For
not
everybody.
only did that, he went and played with drugs again.
Right.
So
there's-
it made
there's
it
layers to
worse.
yeah. So at the end of the day, like I benefited from the pharmaceutical drugs.
We're not talking
I
about
never
my
wanted
brother,
to take
my
them.
other
I never
brother.
wanted to. I wanted to battle it on my own. But once I figured
My
out
other brother,
my
nothing.
ADHD,
He's been
I don't take
sick
anything
for the
for that.
longest time.
So
That's-
yeah,
that's
I don't
not
have
his-
anxiety and
My
depression
brother,
much anymore.
is-
But I still have ADHD, and I can still go in those thoughts and rabbit holes that make me feel like shit. You know what I mean?
When do you guys think it's the brain? You guys
Yeah.
think it's like the brain? Do you guys think it's like
Dude, I have a lot of trauma. I've been through a lot of stuff, and when like from a hereditary standpoint, when your family has traces of it, like for example, my mom's side, they have depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
My dad's side, most of them have ADHD, especially the newer generation. My girl cousins, my sister, me, my boy cousins, they all have it.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not even in your control. You're born that way. Just as if somebody in certain races are born with high blood pressure or are susceptible to dementia or have the gene for schizophrenia.
Yeah.
It's not always like so black and white. That's why mental illness is very hard to understand, and it's also very hard to treat.
I agree. No, I agree. I think everybody's mentally ill. I don't think no
We all
one's
have
really.
something going on.
In one way or another.
Yeah, one way or
Another
another.
thing
yeah.
that people don't like to admit, some people might be more on the spectrum than others.
But actually, that brings me to one point I want to bring up. I was listening to this. We were having this conversation at work about philosophies, And there's a recent philosophy that came out on Stanford about the philosophy of lying.
Lying?
Lying. Like, why does a person lie?
I lie to avoid confrontation. That's all.
You will lie to it. Okay, so
Yeah, me too.
often, so there's some people who just do not lie whatsoever. They cannot lie. There are generally some people who cannot lie.
I don't like to.
Let me bring up an interesting bit of trivia. Do you know that some Native American tribes don't have a word in their language for lying?
Really?
Because they never lie.
What's that one?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I heard a lyric like that. Oh, I heard a lyric like that.
I gotta find me a Native American
But
one.
it's it was
Those, keep talking. I'm gonna tell them those mushrooms. They're not that strong. You get a little buzz off them. But that's
Oh my gosh.
I can't think of the lyric. But it's like about like talking about like no, there is no word for hate, no word for like lie, no word for this and that.
Okay.
That also falls into like ethics and like social things.
So the philosophy of lying suggests that when a person lies, their often goal is to deceive. That's it.
That's what a lie is.
That's what a lie
Oh
is.
yeah, that is what a lie
That's
is.
what a lie is. Right? It's your goal is to deceive.
Yeah, but it's also, I would say you put an asterisk next to it because it also depends on the situation. Not everybody lies for the same reasons.
No, of course not.
No,
Of course not.
Someone might lie to twist a political agenda, right?
Yep, but that's
Someone might lie.
still trying to deceive,
No, right.
You're
But
still
it just
trying
depends on where.
I think all politicians do.
No, but
No,
like I said,
it's not one
it depends on
politician.
what you're doing.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
for example, let's say in a pinch, let's say I was driving your car and I scraped it, and I was like, I don't want
What
Hector
they
to yell
call
at
it,
me.
the
I
word
don't want Hector to fucking kill me. So, Hector, I don't know, Hector, I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
I didn't see
I don't
it.
want to hurt your feelings, and I don't want to get hurt in the process. So I might lie about it. But then with me, I'll be guilty about it. Be like, nah, I should probably tell Hector that I scrapped his car. You know?
if you tell a lie,
is it a bad thing to lie?
Let me bring up a
no, if you try,
situation.
What's the
okay, no.
Jim's got
There's
the
a
floor.
change of
Jim's
noble
got
lie.
the floor.
Jim's got the floor.
Finishing up.
The noble lie?
The noble lie. Yeah, the noble lie.
Okay, so you're at a party and a woman comes in, a beautiful woman like her.
I thought you were going to Hector.
And she comes in and she's wearing a dress that looks horrible. And she's very proud of it. And she comes up and asks you, do you like my dress? And are you going to say, no.
Well, you don't want to.
I would say.
I would just tell her what she wants to hear.
I would say it suits you well.
You would say it suits you. You wouldn't tell her the truth.
Like, for example,
No, I
my
would
sweater
not.
right now, I wouldn't wear it.
Wait, hold on.
It suits her
So,
well.
wait, interesting. Let's
wouldn't wear
get that
check
down. Let's get. You will tell her the truth. You'll be like, nah, that's not.
No,
the truth.
I would not tell her the
you
truth.
would
That's
not tell
subjective.
her.
I would tell her whatever made her feel good.
What she wants to hear.
Okay. Well, what about you? What would you tell?
Well, you know what you could
There's
say.
wisdom to what he's saying. Happy wife, happy life.
I'd say exactly what he
Well,
wants
I'm
to say.
saying in the sense of if someone is wearing something super gross, right, something that no one should wear,
You're not gonna.
right,
not gonna-
would you be like,
The Emperor's New Clothes
Yes.
scenario.
I was saying exactly that.
Topic,
Look,
you know,
at the end of the day, I
open
think
for
that
it.
everyone should be the kid.
I would just want to
At the end
make.
of the
Very
day,
too
I think
late.
everyone
I would
should
make. I want to make that.
should
Better
you be
too late.
honest? Should you be honest about how you feel about
No,
that?
Too late.
I wouldn't.
Talked about it
I wouldn't.
earlier.
Well, there's
Everybody has.
but there's another way of going around
That's
it.
subjective.
What if you're lying
It
for
is
altruistic
subjective. It is
reasons?
subjective.
What if you're lying for altruistic reasons?
I agree.
Like
It means
Christmas?
more to the person.
Like you're giving
I
a
agree.
son
I
or
agree.
child.
But should you lie?
I don't
Guantanamo.
think you should lie about it.
Very
People would do it to avoid that awkward conversation.
I agree.
But you're doing it to avoid conflict.
Right. It's just like some people lie.
And-
You're not doing it to make more problems. If you tell, well, then I'll tell you, that dress sucks. It's going to hurt her feelings. It's going to cause more problems, and then you're going to take.
I'm cool with that.
Even though you're true.
I don't know about the previous
you're
part,
gonna
but I'm
hurt
cool with
her
that.
feelings, and it's going to make it worse.
Fair enough.
But,
Out of curiosity.
yeah, see what I'm saying. But then you could do it this way. There's another way you can get the general, what everyone thinks, because that might be your opinion.
Well, that's
That
just like your opinion,
what I'm
man.
saying. You might
And
think
you're
that
gonna
dress.
put the spotlight on that poor girl.
Yeah, I know, but
and
I'm
have
saying.
everybody talk about her,
But,
her
but,
outfit.
but what I'm saying, but no, this is what I would say. Say you say it, but that might be your opinion.
Man.
And then, but if you go to everyone, does that dress suck on her? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you
That's
got
just your
everyone's
opinion,
opinion.
man.
I'm telling there you go.
The dude.
Everyone,
The dude, yeah.
that dress is not that good. No,
This
it's
guy
not your
would just
only
go up to a woman
opinion.
and say,
It's everybody's
that dress sucks!
I don't.
He would actually. I've seen him. I've seen
is it
him
bad?
do
Is it
that.
bad though? Is it bad to do that? If you
I've
go-
seen you do that.
Is it bad to do that? Is it a bad
I've
thing to
never
do?
done that, but I've seen this guy.
No.
You know what? You suck. I've seen you. When you get drunk,
No,
you actually
I'm not
go.
talking about when somebody asks your opinion of their appearance or something like that.
I mean, Hector, you and I have some crazy outfits.
I agree. No, I mean, I don't really
That's
get
what I
what
said.
people say.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not gonna go up to you like, Hector, that's not my taste. Like, you look like a loon.
Right.
I'm not gonna tell you that.
Exactly.
You're not gonna tell me that. That's just what we wear. That's what we like.
But you should be honest.
Yeah, no, but what do I gain from that though? If I be like, Hector, I don't like the way.
What
you
if you
look
were to
right
wear a big shirt? A guy was to wear a shirt with a big dick on it.
Oh, good, geez.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Time and place.
Everybody will
How
say, "What's wrong with
Yeah,
you?
right.
Well, what's wrong with you? Why are you wearing that?"
Okay,
They'll
like,
be
for
looking
example,
at him all
I
night.
wouldn't. And
It depends how detailed,
I wouldn't
because-
buy the fake
No,
shoes
I
you
mean-
buy.
Which one?
Fully-
Oh, you wouldn't buy
I
them?
wouldn't buy them. Why not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know
If
what
I
I mean?
wouldn't, but that's
you
you,
be
right?
Yeah,
look
no,
at
of
him.
course.
And
What's
you
wrong
wear
with
them,
this,
you're
Steve?
happy.
You know what I mean?
How the fuck in any way does that
Yeah,
affect you?
even if it
But
was
somebody
if-
might do that, like, you shouldn't do that.
If-
Right,
if-
right,
if-
right,
You
right.
shouldn't do that. You have focus.
You know, when you get mad if a guy wants to wear a shirt
Holy shit.
with a woman's thing too on it,
I lost my phone.
you know what I mean?
But
Oh, what happened?
You know, because
I
there's people that
recorded.
do
I
that.
wanted to show you in person, but I recorded a
So I'm
video
saying it's
of a
vulgar,
dude walking down the
it's
street,
insensitive.
a homeless dude in a dress.
Yeah,
And the dress
it'd be funny for a
was
little while,
up to
but after
here.
a while,
His fucking
vulgar
cock and balls was
and
hanging out. He was
Okay.
walking down Vermont.
What's the problem?
What's the problem, Hector? What the fuck don't you defend?
Hold on.
Understand
There's a difference
what
between
His
the
cock
problem.
and balls
Shitty
is
has,
out.
there's a difference for shitty ass dress to your cock and balls.
Okay, but here's the thing.
I got a life
Okay,
story
guys, we
about
need to
that.
be honest with ourselves. Because I've been to San Francisco. That
I've
shit
been to
I-
nudist
yeah.
beaches.
You've been to
Yeah,
the
I've been-
shithole.
I've been-
You've been to
alright.
the shithole city.
It's
Oh, you
better
were
than
there.
here. It's
You
just
were
super
there.
expensive.
No, I don't agree with
It's
that.
just more expensive,
I
but it
agree
is
with
better
that.
than here. It's more
Well,
pure.
you
I'd
know
rather
what?
kill myself.
Talking
I
about
would not
that,
want to live in that cell.
I used to
Look.
work in I did I ever
Why
tell
are
you
we talking
that,
about
Jim?
cock and balls?
I used to work
Oh,
in.
thank you.
No, I
Build
didn't.
up,
I didn't
build up.
work.
Hey, man.
I was going through.
Let's not be
I was going through a little boulevard by Soto.
Someone else wants
Soto.
to look at that, that's fine.
You know, right there on the
I'm
corner.
good, I'm good.
And there used to be a Warehouse Records right there. Anyway, one day I passed by, and there's this old man, all naked right there, and he's going like this in front of the whole fucking world. And he's going like this, and I go, damn! Like, this guy.
Damn, you look fine.
Oh!
He'd probably be going up there, hey, buddy. Well, anyway, I go, that is so vulgar, you know what I mean? But he's probably off his rocker.
I probably didn't
Well,
know
yeah.
he was-
What's the problem? Why are you looking, bro?
No, I wasn't trying to look.
I wasn't
trying.
bro.
What the fuck is the
Hector,
problem?
you
I'm
know-
honestly being for real. What is the problem?
I was
You know
parked.
there's a problem.
I was parked. I was looking at the bus
Wait,
stop.
one by one.
He's on the bus stop
wait,
for what?
Wait, for
So he
starters.
walked by. He wasn't
Wait,
at the bus stop.
wait,
I was
wait,
looking at
Well,
everybody,
mine too. It was right on the
everybody
bus
wait,
stop.
Order.
everybody wait, order.
Out of chaos.
Calm down. Javier, why do you think that's bad?
I guess from our social standpoint, it's not
So,
allowed.
see-
As in, you can get arrested for that.
Of course, no, that's public
It's frowned
decency.
upon.
Yeah.
Possible children around, you know.
Women.
All that
Okay,
stuff. So,
okay.
so if you see it from that standpoint, that's the problem. It wouldn't be a problem if it's a place where it's allowed, like a nudist beach.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, wait, hold on.
You gotta fight that.
What about people who are nudists?
Right.
People who,
Right.
we have the freedom of expression.
But
right?
that's not. But
But you're
but
just,
like
you
you said,
are
it's not
subject
a
to the
new
American
beach.
law.
But hold on. Is the Constitution the law, or the law
See, this is why I'm not an anarchist.
Because
Right?
I'm
not an anarchist.
I'm being for
What are you
real.
talking about?
That's why I believe
You
in
talking about
that.
states' rights?
Order.
No, I'm talking about Constitution. The Constitution just it's the supreme law of the land. You cannot make a law that goes against the Constitution.
Bullshit.
I think that's
Bullshit.
look. This
It happens so many times. It
No.
happens so many times.
this is something that the communists have done for years.
Not only the
They
communists.
use our rules against us. So,
No.
are you the freest country in the world, USA? Yeah, we are.
But you
Are you allowed to
naked
shit
people?
on the streets?
Wait, but you are.
Well, not quite. In India, you're allowed to shit on the streets. Well, you have more freedom in India. Then that's what they've
But
done.
you're not allowed to take a shower in India.
Yeah, you can take it to rich can.
Come on, bro. You have,
It is illegal, though.
You're. It's all right. Look.
You take a shit.
I'm asking.
Shit.
What is the
Shit,
crime
you
of
not-
being nude?
No,
What
I've
is the
seen
crime?
people. I've seen dudes in India on the internet. Some fucking cows taking a waterfall piss, and the dude's just there like,
But what's the problem with that? That's literally what the fuck is wrong with you guys? If these tribes, by the way, that's in Africa.
No, it's in
Cultural
That was India.
relativism.
That was India.
That's in Africa. I know what you're talking about. That's in
Africans are
Africa.
not like
But
Indians.
Africans do the exact same thing.
No,
Cow
there's-
piss protects you from skin disease. That's
It's
why.
and it's probably true, but
Are you
Are
if
you
I
a
told you that my
cultural
semen
relativist?
protects
if it's a
you
healthy cow,
from
maybe.
skin disease, are you gonna rub my fucking semen
Well,
on your body?
if it hasn't worked for 4,000 years,
Water
probably not.
Water shortage.
Why aren't you actively
Look,
fucking-
I would take
Go
a shower
there.
in cow piss.
Go to the
Your
ranch
boyfriend
and
will
the
take a
cows
shower in
feed
cow
them.
piss.
I would take a shower in cow piss.
If it's a healthy cow, maybe.
Fuck it. I mean, look, I like
Well,
this.
If it's a sick cow with festering fucking wounds, you're not gonna take a shower in
I
that.
ain't gonna eat them
Would you rather get fucking farmer treatment or get
Natural.
pissed by a fucking cow?
Well,
Oh,
depends
well, you know
on
what,
the
man?
drugs.
Actually, I thought
Yeah,
the funny
you're
subject because I know people who deal with like skin like issues,
Neither.
and
Yeah.
they take a bunch of.
I think I'll
medication
take the
and
cow.
it'll fuck you up.
I
They're
probably take.
real bad.
Call me a hippie. I'll take the cow.
I
I'll
try
take the cow
take.
piss.
If it was to come to that,
But,
I'd probably
there's
take
a
the
way
cow
to do
too.
it, dude. There's a way to do it.
Give me goggles and nose plugs and cover my mouth. I'll do it.
Put it in a jug, whatever, you know, but don't fucking just go behind the fucking cow.
From
and
the
fucking-
source?
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
the
Put it-
source!
that's what it's the most.
Okay.
It's the most confused
I got a good one that happened today. I told him earlier. They caught 5 cops, 5 peeing outside where everyone could see them,
Doing an Andrew.
and they're peeing on the wall like that. You know what I mean?
They do what I do.
They didn't care if nobody was, but they caught them all peeing right there.
Where were they at?
LA.
You know,
I understand your
we had to
man.
take public
Yeah,
pictures.
you understand. I can understand.
If I
No.
would get charged, they should
Yeah,
get
you
charged.
should get
Yeah,
charged.
they should get charged.
Better be a grass-fed cow.
But they weren't hiding. Like if you went behind a tree and peed,
Some courtesy.
or
That's why I
you
said
went,
healthy
you
cow.
went and hide behind
Yeah,
a wall.
public spot,
I didn't think of it at
Peed.
first.
No, these guys are blatantly outside.
Wieners
they,
out.
They don't have their wiener. They didn't show their wiener, but they were against the wall.
What's the
Peeing.
point?
Yeah, I
No.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm trying to say, if you did that and they seen you,
Of course, yeah.
they'll come and give you a fucking
Public- that's
fat
right.
ticket.
And you'll be in the sex
And then you
offender
want that
registry.
Yeah. So
That's right.
they
You know
should
what
go.
that does.
I understand you're a man. You have to pee.
Laws for thee, but not for
But
me.
these guys didn't go behind the wall.
Fuck boys.
Didn't try to hide it. Didn't, you know what I mean?
Go.
They were out there blatantly going like this, and one guy was even going like that. I was like, damn, I go, we did that. You about
It
10
was
cop,
AI.
10
Yeah,
cop
yeah,
cars
yeah,
would be
yeah.
out there dragging you into the fucking thing.
What, you
It's
see
like
that
it's a
retard
double
cop
standard.
Who OD'd on that stuff that he
Oh,
confiscated?
God, I saw that.
Fuck,
shit.
he's dumb,
In the
man.
bathroom?
He was like,
Wait.
and they put Narcan on him.
No,
What's that?
Or that
what?
one cop who fucked that chick and he locked himself in the back of the cop.
Oh yeah, in
car.
San
Yeah.
Diego. Yeah.
I didn't hear about any of this.
Because they think we can get away with it.
There's a bit more though to that.
Right.
To that overdose story.
Yeah.
And it's that the cops immediately knew what the problem was.
Right.
So this guy had a pattern of doing this shit.
You think so?
Oh yeah. They immediately when they discovered him, they weren't like, what the fuck? They were like, oh, we know what's happening. It's something that's happened before with this fucking cop. he you know, shit like that happens, bro. Cops are people. People forget about that.
Well, cops are humans.
So that's why I'll concede one thing on the public indecency battleground,
Yes,
right?
there's people, but like
You should be able to piss in public. Anybody.
No.
Anybody.
Yeah, I agree.
You should be able to piss in public,
But
but not
then,
show your weenie
wait, hold
to
on.
the world.
Not be prideful about
Hold
it.
on.
You
Well, I
have
think
to have
it's the
some
right
decency.
circumstances. Like,
Wait,
if I'm gonna fucking
wait.
shit
Everybody,
myself,
Right.
hold
I
on,
have to,
hold on.
like, dude, I have to.
Right.
First of all, you're okay with pissing on the street, but you're not okay with shitting on the street.
It's not
Well,
a good look.
if you have to go super
It's
bad,
Hector, you're in the middle of the street. And
I'll
I don't
say
know
it's
where
not
you're
a good
standing.
look.
Everything's
No,
closed.
it's
What are
not
you
a
gonna
good
do?
I'm just saying.
Look,
I'm just
Hector,
saying.
it's a protest
just saying.
at work. You could shit your pants and make yourself smell like shit all day. That's a
That's
form
fine.
of protest. That's fine. You
That's
could do
fine.
that.
You could do
Why
that.
would you want to do that?
That's completely up to you,
It's
right?
completely up to you. But,
yeah.
You know,
Well, that's
there's-
what happened to
Another
me
thing,
this morning.
you know, feces spread diseases and other
Yeah,
stuff
well,
like that.
feces does.
I mean,
Pee, and pee don't.
It can.
It's your shit. You're allowed to
no,
shit
but
your own
someone
pants.
else.
Yeah.
If it goes around in other places.
Yeah, and then you get to
should
the
be
water
it's not gonna be
system.
on you. You're gonna be
Hopefully you
spraying
wear a
it.
nice diaper.
Well, wait a minute.
Oh.
So why are dogs allowed to shit in the street?
Because
I
of
can't.
animals.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. What the fuck, bro?
Wait, but then,
Rules for these, but not for me.
Okay, give
Well,
the
we
dog a
separate
law and
ourselves
you're
from
gonna hear
animals.
it
That's
too.
why we say any
You're not
example.
fucking dogs, first of all. But the point is, there shouldn't be stray dogs out like that.
No, I agree.
No, there
well,
should-
actually,
That's a whole other.
actually, we should be more nicer to our animals. But I agree, there shouldn't be stray animals. But if there are, we should just feed them whenever we have the chance.
Of course.
I don't mind that.
I mean, we did fucking ruin. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you see. I was like one time I was at work and I was at a fucking corporate tire shop
Yeah.
and I see fucking ducks. I'm like, where the fuck did these ducks come from? So it's like we took over the land and built buildings. Where the fuck are these animals gonna go? They're disturbed.
You know, from the side, you look like Vernon Wells from Commando.
I'll take it. I don't know Vernon Wells.
He's a
Well,
cool
I've
guy.
heard Jonah Hill, Vernon Wells, and a mixture of Julian Casablancas and mainly Jonah Hill and Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal.
I can see the Pedro Pascal.
No, I gotta have my hair. I gotta have my hair.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see the Pedro
I don't have
Pascal.
my
Like
hair.
a younger version, like CGI young version Pedro
I don't have
Pascal.
my long hair. You know, you see me with my longer hair.
I can see that. Actually, I can kind of see
But you know, like we disturb these animals. Where the fuck are they gonna go? Same thing with the dog. Where the fuck are they gonna go? It's not their fault that we fucking neglected them. Now they're out in the streets.
Oh yeah, that's what I
for themselves.
one night you see a loose dog and everything. I blame the owner.
But actually, did you guys see? What do you guys think of Christy Nome? I know we have a big Christy Nome.
Oh, that guy is
here.
that woman is
You know, she killed her dog.
Why?
that woman
In
that woman
Alabama,
is.
they have a hunting dog
The,
contest. where they hunt things
remember
and
you
kill the dogs.
remember Iron Maiden where they have that demon on a string, like a puppet. That's Christy. No,
What do you think of Christy Nome?
she's a puppet.
I'm talking about this guy right here.
Yeah, I think she's a diversity hire.
What about what do you think?
No,
of
it's a puppet. Whatever they tell her to say, she says it.
Yeah,
I don't think.
What do you think
I
of
don't
what
think.
happened to the senator Alex Padilla?
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Look, man. There is standard
Yeah, I've
operating
seen that
procedure.
one
I was saying
before.
earlier.
Well, there's some.
There is
Should be.
there is standard operating
How's
procedure
this?
when you're going to ask questions like that at an event like that. First of all, there's time for the press to ask questions. You know, I don't like the whole situation of it all. I don't like. He made a great point actually earlier. I forget what it was, but why wasn't the Secret Service like?
Well, they
kind of checking everybody like
well,
why?
the Secret Service actually escorted the guy in.
Wait, do you even know where it was taking place at?
It was in downtown.
Yeah. Does he know that?
I knew that. It's
wait.
he's a California senator from our area.
A new
Elected.
Yeah.
a new one. Yeah.
She's
he's
appointed representative.
I didn't like that, but he acted as an
In-
activist.
In his,
You have to
in his,
understand.
wait, in his state. You think that's how you should treat people in their own legislative building? As a appoint, not appointed,
Well,
voted.
as a foreign. Not the word. I don't mean as. I mean
No, as an outsider, yeah, an outsider. You think that's how we should treat our senators?
This is a very hot political subject.
I'm sorry.
man.
What is so hot about it?
What do you mean? What's so hot
Yeah,
about
what's
it?
so
There's
hot
almost
about it? It's
riots
a yes
going
or
on-
no, bro.
going
It's a
on
yes
in
or
the
no. It's
street.
is that how we should treat people?
Yes.
Representatives?
No, not representatives.
Look,
Okay, the
someone
point I
that's
brought
not
up
identifying
earlier-
himself through the way that it's always been.
All right, I'm
done.
going on the mic.
All right.
See, but he could do it.
We get through.
I tried to do that, and I rambled.
Okay, let's not
Because he's talking about
debate. Why?
I haven't brought up Star Wars at all.
Why
today.
You have massive
thoughts on
surveillance in these buildings. There's cameras everywhere. There's facial recognition. How do you know? How does the Secret Service not know that there's a U.S. senator in the room? It's just like when that guy
Probably
was.
because they're being bombarded by a bunch of fucking beaners.
It's just like that, like that guy who was laying on the
Well, that's the
roof.
way. That's the way
I'm
they
Mexican,
think.
right?
Isn't she a
That's the way
beaner
they
too?
think.
Isn't she a beaner too? What is she? Like she literally looks like super tan.
What's that in science it's like there's always room for chaos. Chaos
Okay,
can happen.
remember-
in a materialist world there's always chaos.
A few months ago, a guy was laying on a roof and he took a shot at former President Trump. How does the Secret Service not know there's a guy with a rifle laying on the roof?
And people told me.
Hector would say they knew.
The people.
It was staged. Everyone
I'll get
I
triggered.
think it was staged.
I know you don't.
So,
I get
how do you know? How do you
Just that
not,
there were some innocent people.
how do you not
that
know
got
that there's
killed.
a U.S. senator
They knew.
inside the
Damage.
roof?
Because of chaos.
I think it was staged.
One.
Donovan, give me a beer.
No. Damn it.
If you bring up a conspiracy
Still
theory,
grabs him a beer.
Nah,
It was
okay.
staged.
you have a point.
Why did it just nick his fucking ear? I don't understand.
No. Hey, but for it to be that safe to just nick his ear, like the way he moved and everything, that's pretty fucking impressive.
Well, the thing is,
Come.
Kabbalah ritual.
the thing is, I know you're all against it, but it's still to
The
my
way
day.
people believe the assassination took was real.
I don't think it was real, but I think it was pretty impressive the way that
That guy
it all
did.
worked out.
No, the guy.
act was
I want to tell you
impressive.
something.
As in, no, like how it worked out that it just nicked his
Okay,
fucking
okay.
ear.
I want to tell you something.
You're not that good of a
You're
shooter.
Jim.
None of you
Dude,
guys are.
if a Navy SEAL sniper took a shot at Donald Trump, he couldn't have got
Yeah.
Nick.
No, yeah.
nicked
that's-
by an ear.
Well, you
a
want
lot.
you want to know something?
Do you think he
You
was
never
supposed to get shot in the
know.
head?
Let me tell you something.
Do you think he was supposed to get shot in the head?
No, I think he was supposed to get shot.
No, I don't think he was going to shot at
Not
all.
at all. Not at all.
Okay, I want to tell you something. You never heard of what happened to the guy. It's gone. The media
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
talk about it.
Well,
Oh
they killed him.
no!
Finesse.
It was probably staged for him to get martyrdom.
Martyrdom. Yeah.
And
Okay,
this guy, different name, different
what
place.
does he get out of it? What
No,
does he get out of
they
it?
probably paid him, and he's in another country. Because you don't hear nothing else
Probably
about
Thailand.
him. You don't hear what prison he's in. You don't hear.
He's dead. They killed him.
Well, he could have got killed too.
As far as we
Well,
know.
he's dead. No, he's
Yeah,
dead.
well, as far as we know, he could be killed.
No, we have pictures.
But they don't show things.
They
As
did.
far as what they told you.
No, we have pictures of his fucking dead body. He's literally like fucking bullet.
That's
holes
what
on
they
him.
tell you though, but you don't know. Did you see?
Oh my fucking god! Wait,
But
wait.
did
When
you
do we
see-
stop? When do we stop? When there's truth and when there's no truth. When do we stop?
Well, I'm just saying. I never seen his pictures. I never seen.
Let me see if I can find his picture. If I find his pictures and I show you, would you believe
And
it?
how many people seen it?
A pretty good amount.
Okay, then maybe he did get killed. But they can stage it.
Maybe. It's still a maybe.
They
What
can-
was the guy's name again? Thomas Cooks?
You know,
Thomas
Andrew-
Cooks Massey?
The thing that
You're
I
such
think
a top
the kind of people that they're alleging,
Trump shooter.
Yeah.
I actually
Top
think they're
up-
going to be willing to kill people.
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
pile
Top
bodies
up,
for just
Thomas Matthew
just for
Cooks.
the martyrdom.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, they do that.
well,
Such
the-
a autistic looking school shooter.
well, people say that he was MK Ultra and whatnot.
Well, like I said, we never know.
That
But the funny is the story.
and then he
is
showed up
very-
in a bunch of like BlackRock ads too.
Oh, Thomas Crook, yeah.
But he did he disappeared from the media. It's funny. They don't keep bringing it back
Well,
up.
you mean Thomas Crook, like
the coverage. Like they don't talk about it anymore.
That's
Oh,
something
no,
we
they
said
don't.
about the Mandalay Bay shooting.
Yeah, dead ass. Hey, the man, that was creepy.
No,
man.
like I said, I
that
only
was
seen.
creepy as fuck.
I heard.
I think there was a
that they might have
woman.
killed him.
There was a woman that
The compass.
no, there was a woman witness with the Mandalay Bay shooting.
But it's strange
That talked
that
about what
he
she
just
saw.
gets a little nick in the
And I
ear.
think she was killed or something.
Because if they really wanted
She said what?
any like an inch
She talked
more,
about what
they
she
hit him
saw.
right here.
In terms of the shooting,
Or
we're
he
talking about the
moved-
country shooting,
he
right? The
moved like
country,
this.
the festival, yeah.
Oh,
That's she
He
talked about
got killed.
what she saw.
very.
And she
the
gave
poor
like a
people
different
in the back
eyewitness
are
report
killed.
than what was reported by the
Yeah,
news.
People are trying to recreate
And
it.
she was
You
killed.
can't really recreate it.
She was either killed or hushed.
Maybe he, like I said,
It's such
maybe,
a fucking marketing job.
maybe
There's no way that-
Where's
God
that flag around?
right
Scaring
there took care of it.
man. What's it called?
See, it's possible that the bullet not even touched his ear, but just
And
the
they
force
put
of
fake
it,
blood.
the ballistics of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, because just a concussion, or if he got near it, it will cause like
It
a
would
friction.
a slight, yeah. The friction
get-
would cause a slight slit,
Yeah,
and the head does bleed a lot. And,
Yeah.
and the thing is with
you gotta think of bullets, because bullets do cause friction.
Yo,
Even,
what the fuck was that?
even if it's
Fucking-
close.
And they're hot.
That wasn't even
Yeah.
9mm that hit him. What was that?
no, it was,
22?
it was a rifle
It
round.
was, but I mean, what it did to him?
Because
I feel like a rifle round would have obliterated your
Well,
ear.
if
no,
it
if,
hit you,
if he
yeah,
got,
but
if the bullet got close enough,
Maybe-
it'll burn.
Uh,
It'll burn, and the friction, the heat,
Oh, okay, okay.
it will
Edgar,
get
maybe you could help with that. Are you familiar with the ballistics of
bullets.
Edgar.
of a rifle round, for example? If it doesn't
Octavio would have
hit
known
you,
that.
Yeah,
but it slightly passes your ear, would it graze your ear? Would it cut it with the friction of the air? Just
If
the.
I were to shoot you and it'll miss your ear by a pube hair.
Yeah, I think just by the heat itself.
yeah. That's what
And
I'm
the
saying.
friction, right?
Yeah.
Passing by with that
Yeah.
force.
So it creates a wound in it, and it's a somewhat cauterized wound. It seems with the heat.
Do you know what
It's
your
so colourful.
your buddy's missing? He would have told you right.
Octavio.
Yeah, I tell you. See, the whole thing with Trump, bro.
No, I liked in the beginning what he was doing, getting the
We're fucking
criminals.
stupid for that.
No,
bro.
in the
We're
no.
fucking stupid for that.
For the criminals, yes. I mean, not
For
for.
supporting
I'm not
Trump's,
talking about the
deportation.
poor people that are working in the
That's what
factories.
he was talking about. He literally said they're poisoning,
Nah, he's full of
they're
shit on
poisoning
that.
the blood of America. Bro.
He's full of shit on that.
Fuck you, bro. You voted for that, bro.
I didn't vote for
Well,
him.
you supported
Hey,
that.
Hector, my favorite video
I
when you got pulled
supported him
over.
in the beginning. But I'm saying.
When you got pulled over, you're like, there are rapists and killers out there that you should be.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm
Not
saying
me.
he went overboard. He went overboard.
Hector's funny as fuck, dude.
Oh, yeah.
All the whole people are saying the same thing. They were all for.
Shut the fuck
I
up.
need fucking like mortuary pictures. Like I need that.
There's actually
You
a
know,
picture of that.
Andrew, I'll say this much, bro. He put it out there. Actually, I think.
Well, yeah, even my mom said it. My mom is all Catholic and she believes in the people. But she goes, these people had so much time to get their papers ready.
It's not that easy, bro.
I know.
So
But
don't
somebody
say that then. Don't say that, bro.
But this is what
Yeah,
my mom.
that's such a easy
But my mom.
throwaway
But my mom
answer,
said some of these
There's a
people.
reason for that.
Some people had years to do it. I'm talking about people that have been here like 10, 15,
You know,
20
you know how much
years.
it costs?
I know it's a lot.
You know the lawyers that scam people?
That too.
You know, why
You don't even need to be a lawyer to scam people. You can pretend to be a lawyer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up.
No, I'm not saying. You're just putting words in my mouth. I know what people have to go through for that. But what I'm saying is, some of these people had a long time to. Some had a long time to fix their.
Some people don't even
Wait,
bother.
And they don't bother.
Oh, wait,
They don't bother.
Why the fuck do you want papers in the first place?
I know.
But why should
But
anybody?
you,
Why should anybody want papers in the first place?
and it doesn't matter.
You've
No,
got to
no,
go through a
no, I'm
process
telling you.
of immigration.
No,
Excuse me.
No, it
Why
doesn't
do you
even
need
matter.
papers?
He's taking citizens.
Why do you
So
need papers?
that point.
Show me the papers.
It has nothing to do with the papers. It has everything to do with
Why
assimilation.
do you need papers? Why do you need papers?
No, you don't need papers. You need to assimilate. Papers is just part of that process.
Why do you need papers?
To prove that
I,
you're...
look, I don't give a fuck if someone has papers and comes to this country legally. If they don't assimilate to the country, what the fuck was the point of putting you through
What
the
do you mean
immigration
assimilate?
process?
What do you mean assimilate?
To assimilate to a culture?
What culture?
The American culture.
What's American culture?
Okay, so the Constitution, which was written in English.
No, you're getting too technical. It's just saying,
you have
why
to, bro.
do you come from your other country to come to the United States? You're looking for a better way of life.
Does it matter?
But you have to take some rules, some responsibilities.
What's America? What the fuck is America?
We're all.
Okay, I don't care. We're all. What I'm trying to. What are we? Oh, what the hell is America?
We're a mixture of.
What's America? What is America?
A nation founded on opposing kings.
That's what you think. What do you think America is? This guy does not know what America is. Dumbass.
We're a bunch of immigrants. Is what we are. That's what we're supposed to be.
Excuse me?
We're a bunch of immigrants united to be.
Well, what do you think is America, Javi?
Depends on who you ask, man.
What do you think is America? You personally think?
You're anti everything, so I don't understand.
Look, I guess like when it comes to papers, I mean, we should have some sort of documentation of the people who are here.
Why?
To prove that
For
you belong
anything.
here.
But why? Why do you need to prove?
Some guy kills Hector. Who the fuck is this guy? We have no documentation of who this guy to even fucking.
So you're telling me we can't find people so easily anymore?
I don't know.
What are you saying here? Are you saying
wait.
Are you saying that documents are easy to track people? Is it to make it easier to track people?
Well, wouldn't it be better if they can? But I'm not talking about a fucking
Documentation ain't the end of it.
Well, that's the whole point.
I don't care about documentation.
I know it's going to eventually come to that.
I'm just saying, I don't understand what the fuck do you guys care so much about papers. I don't understand.
We're not the ones who care. The people.
We're
who
talking
are-
about assimilation, right?
Well, this guy does. This guy does.
Okay.
This guy.
I don't care about. I said assimilation.
What the fuck is assimilation?
You were asking everybody, what is the American? We all gave very different answers, right?
Yes, because nobody knows what America is.
No, it's freedom. We all have the freedom to pursue happiness in our own way.
So you locked up people who are trying to get that?
Let me bring up why we're even having this argument in the first
Finishing
place.
arguments.
Are you guys familiar with the term melting pot?
Yeah.
That's right.
No one can give a clear, concise definition of what America is. Everyone will have a variance of what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of a problem.
America should be whatever, you know, how you said the Constitution was, the rules, yada yada yada. Like what America was built on, that should what America should be.
Okay.
Even Andy can't even say what America
We have the
is.
freedom to do that.
Nobody
we have the
can.
right to this. We have the right to that. We have. That's what America
Yeah,
should be
but
back in the day.
you
I
have
guess,
people
if you go down to just bare
that are
bones,
trying to
it should be
influence
on paper
and change.
On a perfect world.
Well, no, but
what is America currently? What is it currently?
Well, currently we're
sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
No.
So
Well,
that was an old America.
That's the 80s and
You're the 80s.
I would say 70s.
You're the 80s, man. Yeah.
I know, but we loved that
I know.
man. Everybody loved each other. We had no fights, hardly any.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Make
well,
America great again.
well,
That's what MAGA means.
What is
We're
that
thinking
talking
about the
about?
80s.
I thought it was the 50s.
No.
And
Hey,
what
but ain't
about
the 50s?
80s?
That's what you
50s, you had
projected
communism.
onto MAGA.
What
Yeah,
did
you
the
had communism.
80s?
You had
Whitney Houston at the Super Bowl.
you had political correctness.
That's America,
You had,
baby.
After the 80s, all that shit was gone, and then right after the 80s,
Wait,
Put your hands up.
Hey,
Whitney Houston at the Super Bowl. That just sounds like entertaining
You know about-
distractions to me.
we were going down to Hollywood.
Sounds
You were
fucking
able to
crazy.
drink a
Masonic
beer on
distractions.
fucking
Look,
Hollywood.
I-
We can't even fucking
You mentioned
do
the
that
melting
no
pot. Okay?
Term created by a Jew, by the way.
Yes.
Shima Stampede says
It's been more
I
like a
wouldn't-
salad bowl.
Even I wouldn't be able to
Would you
say
agree?
what
People
America
loved
is.
each other.
It hasn't been a melting pot, it's been a salad bowl.
I
People
just say America
kind of go
is-
in their own communities of their
I
own
think
kind
different.
and
I think
create.
that's
Let me bring
one
up
of the
a
most
point.
specific
I
accents.
don't know. With miscegenation, it seems to be.
I agree.
In some places, it's a salad bowl. In other places, in other instances, it could be a melting pot.
Some places get along.
Guys,
But they have a common
Guys, love
mindset.
this.
You want to see the definition of a grumpy old man?
He's worse. He's a hell of a
He's
lot.
saying, oh, in the good old days, back in the 30s, people used to love each other, nobody fought.
Shut up, Teresa. What are you talking about?
Shima Stampede.
That's what I said. He's a grumpy old
Even
man.
I wouldn't be able to say what America is. Then somebody else says, I just say it's a land of settlers.
Who
And
says
each state
that?
is different too. I think Hector wants a specific answer. A lot of people settle in other countries too.
Wait, is Uncle Drac 69? If it's a land of settlers, then are you for immigrants? Because they're settling down.
We're all immigrants.
We're all
No,
immigrants, right?
To settle an area means.
No, this guy Medina.
I am. Yeah, my family comes from immigrants. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why are you so
But
against
a
them?
settler, I'm not against him. There's differences. There's a difference between settling an area and
Hey,
immigrating
who's a
to an
Nazi
area.
here?
When you settle an area, it's like
This guy's a Nazi. This guy's a Nazi.
if there were no houses here before, and then we create all the houses and infrastructure, that's us settling the area.
Derogatory term.
Anti.
I just said it.
Oh, I'm telling
If there's no
What?
houses here,
It's,
let's pretend Montebello
it's,
was, or no,
Ted Kennedy.
Commerce was like, what,
Nazi
200
punch
years ago. There's no houses.
Are you
it's a
saying
ban.
no immigrants are building houses here?
No, they could, but that's them settling
giving
into
you a
their own house.
scenario.
Look, a nation
fucking
when
stupid.
when you
About 200 years
hold on.
ago, there was
Hold on.
nothing here.
Let me ask you, when you
The-
say
the
that
Nazis,
the nation is built by
Ashkenazis?
I think there was a Starbucks.
when you say that the nation
Ashkenazi Jews?
it's a good point. When you say by
I wouldn't doubt it.
that the nation's built by immigrants, what do you mean? By the nation.
Oh,
When it
Spaniards.
comes to certain things.
Go to Trump. We're no
Okay.
Mexicans. They were Spaniards.
Okay.
I mean, we took a lot of their
Kinda true.
scientists and
It's not entirely true.
doctors and
Okay.
Oh, well, NASA.
Correct.
yeah.
They were
Werner von
Spaniards.
Braun.
The settlers
Spaniards
Really
built
Mexicans,
America.
yeah.
Okay.
They own Bugatti.
Okay.
Settler.
Oh, they do.
Where
A
did they
settler
come
is a
from?
Oh,
person
that's
that comes
Italian.
from a different
What?
land.
Okay.
So they went
What else
bankrupt in the
includes
90s.
land?
Oh,
What else
shit.
in society?
What?
BWS Bugatti.
No
An
idea.
immigrant is someone that immigrates
What?
from one country, moves. I'm not going to use the word.
Oh,
The person that moves from one country to another.
Of vehicles?
Is that why you're such
Usually
good friends with
in the
Hector?
form
Or
of-
just one of the big things you
I
have in
know
common?
Hector's vehicles.
Oh, okay. That just happens to be a big thing you have in common.
Actually,
I
I
guess.
can
But that-
fight.
Settler 6
Is it just fight?
No, they established citizens.
Hector has some pretty
these things
radical
are tripping me
ideas.
out.
He does. He
That's not
does.
fucking stupid, bro.
That's not stupid.
Sometimes
We don't have a nation.
So who are they?
Who
Who are they to establish citizenship?
The
for a
damn
land
near
that they've
anarchists
never
at
belonged
times.
to?
Yeah, when Hector goes off on his
By the
schizo
right
radical,
gentlemen.
Excuse me?
That's what I
By
said.
the
I
right
tripped
So
out.
why are you so mad
Final
at the invaders?
thoughts, gentlemen?
If they're
They want
allowed
to take
come
one
for it?
apart.
I'm not mad. I'm attempting to
do.
stop the
You're
invasion.
allowed. You allow invaders.
I want to see
No,
what
I
the
don't
light
allow
batteries
it.
are
I
running.
don't. I advocated that.
Why is it that you completely are happy with the
Where's the
invaders,
battery?
but when other
That's the
people
battery.
do it, you're not happy with it?
Wait,
You're-
We're several.
last
generations
arguments from these two, and then Jim's got a new one.
Final thoughts,
And the
gentlemen.
weed is where?
So we are several
Okay.
generations removed from the conquest
car I want.
of
I
this
still like to
nation.
tear it all
And
apart.
I do think the message is
No, I'm good.
something.
I gotta live good. I gotta
It
live
establishes.
No, somebody
one of them made
the other day.
You
and
can
one of them was a
subvert.
supercar that.
You can
About
subvert
2 years ago.
Oh, shit. What are you telling me after the supercar?
My brother's
You ever
friends
the supercar?
No, I want the one that made it. It's
So it does mean
Chrysler
something.
Crossfire.
And
They have a
I'm an
Mercedes.
old-
What's a Mercedes engine in the Crossfire?
At the end of the day,
Pretty much the whole car is Mercedes
trying
besides
to
the body.
prevent something.
Anyway,
Oh.
little
Do you,
shit like
I don't know
that.
if you're into cars,
Let
but
me
if
ask
you go to
you.
the museum, they
Do
have
you think that this land
Is it here?
Choking.
I don't care what.
What's it called? Peterson?
Bus for
But it's kind of contingent
At
to
least-
the immigration
the
conversation.
part of
But you don't
one
bring it up
hour,
for
right?
the
I
general.
didn't
like
want
a
it.
year, like
I
right
didn't
in
want
Silver
to smoke
Building,
no more
like
because
next to that Bernie
How
Sanders
does
statue.
that work anywhere else?
Is it right next to
Where did that?
Is it next to this?
Why do you want to be like everyone
Isn't there an auto
my
shop
brother
or auto
was
place with Felix the Cat or something? Is there right
Finishing
there?
thoughts?
Everyone else
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
sucks.
I
We don't want to be like that.
And I remember the old days.
Well,
We
the
used to get this.
okay.
But what?
Finish up, finish up.
Talking about old days.
This one.
I'm talking about the weed.
Star Wars.
Europe.
I'm talking about weed. You don't know
We
anything
just
about
talked
it.
about
You got
his
part
Irish
of it.
friend, Uncle Drag.
No, he didn't start
check it out.
smoking weed till
Or, you know, they just
Yeah,
had a
he
recent
was,
fucking
he smoked a
problem
little
where this
bit in
girl was
between.
raped by all these
But-
fucking immigrants.
Me and my friend Gary,
You know,
we used to smoke 3
I
to
mean,
4
Are
times
you
a week
saying
or
you're-
whatever.
are you saying
In the
Europeans don't
backyard
rape?
smoking all kinds of shit. I don't know.
No,
Like
they
it's-
rape, but when you
so we had some
in
good
horticulture,
stuff sometimes.
that
Other
doesn't
times
see
we got the
white
little
women
stems and
as
powder.
a
and
woman
we
that
were
should
happy
respect
to
you
give you
because all
that.
they do is watch porn, and all they
That's
see
what
is
changed.
Well, they don't even respect their own women.
they don't.
Okay.
And they watch porn all
What
day.
are you talking about?
They watch Western porn.
Before we go on
They
to
see
our
blonde
next
women
topic,
in Western porn.
That's done by the Jews, by the way.
Yes. Yes, he's right.
You
Absolutely
guys
right.
are fucking.
before we
Bonnie
go
Blue
to our
might be a
next
man.
topic, which is going to be completely separate from immigration.
No woman can sport fuck like
I
that.
think you just
You
brought
just can't.
Has anybody heard
Only a
about,
dude can sport fuck like that.
has anybody heard about this character?
Think about it.
Andrew Tate and his brother who are in a shitload of trouble in the country of Romania.
Top G.
Yeah.
I haven't been hearing that.
Okay.
I heard the name.
Top G,
but
3
I
days.
haven't been big into it.
Right, mate.
I need to take my meds.
He's the world's biggest misogynist. He basically says things like, "There's no such thing as rape. If a woman gets raped, she probably asked for it.
Women should be on leashes.
Women
No,
should be
there's
on
a thing
leashes."
of rape.
Yeah.
And he considers himself a Muslim, right?
Yeah. I don't know what his religious beliefs
He's
are.
not religious. He's not religious.
Yeah.
He's a sellout. He's a sellout.
I know he's been in the United States. He was a former kickboxer. And,
His dad's in the CIA.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh!
I didn't know that.
I heard
Whoa.
that. I
He
heard
also,
that
lived,
part.
he also lived in the UK.
Yep.
But he said that he moved to Romania, where he's in a shitload of trouble now, because he says the rape laws over there are much more lenient. And I'm
Oh,
like,
that guy.
yeah,
It's the prostitution laws that are more lenient.
yeah.
Not the rape
And he
laws.
says it's much more harder to get convicted of rape in Romania because they require more evidence. And I said, what the fuck are you planning to do over there?
Yeah.
Because basically what they found out is that he runs some operation where women get on the phone, they talk to men, they give a sad
Yeah, I really
story,
like that kind
and
of-
they
Oh,
say,
yeah, I read
and
about
they
that.
say, oh, could you send me money because
take
my
this.
mom is sick.
I fell for
His
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
Well, I didn't lose that one.
He exploits women.
Why did you people have a platform?
He's a confused.
After a while,
To-
He's convicted. I mean, not convicted. He's
imposes sickening will onto becoming
When I
one.
make-
He's in court right now for
for
rape and human trafficking. But
Not good.
one interesting thing I read was that
You're
young
imparting
men
heinous ideology.
all across the United States, they follow his philosophy. They say, you know, women should. Like one thing he says is if you
That guy has a philosophy.
support a
Jesus Christ,
woman financially, then she's your property.
Oh!
And there's no such thing as rape because if a woman gets raped, she probably asked for it in some way.
The only thing I kind of
Camera on this
teeny
trolling.
bit agree on that. A teeny bit.
Didn't
like-
catch it, it's alright.
That's
You're not in the angle.
That's why you don't have a girlfriend right now.
Well,
Oh!
hey, I was married longer than you ever have.
I want to hear about this.
Okay. Let me tell you. The only thing I want to say is one teeny little part. The only thing I don't like is when you go to the bar and you pay a ton of money for a woman to at least give you talk to you and
Man,
at least give
financially,
you
then she owns
some
it.
kind of thank you. Fucking goes out
Should
the
go
door
for-
and gives
should
you
go
a
both
fucking
ways.
finger.
Andrew,
I think he's speaking
just
from
don't talk to a
experience.
girl unless she's looking at you like this.
No.
Yeah!
They give you that eye in the beginning. In the beginning,
And then change your mind.
They go.
That's true.
They go like this. And then the poor fool that we are, buy them beer.
No, don't you say we, you.
We. There is no we.
No, he's falling for it.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
all fallen for it. He has to.
That's why you let them ask you if you want them to buy you a drink.
Well, I stopped doing that.
No, you know what?
I stopped doing that. I learned
That's a
after
cheat.
like the 10th time,
But
I
it's squishy
said,
stress ball.
I think I must be stupid. I must be some way, some wrong with me. But if they after the 10th
shape,
time
I
you
guess.
started, hey, why do I always have to buy them? Can they buy me the drink? I only had one girl in all my life buy me a drink.
Right here in East LA, there's a lot of bars where they have professional women working there. And they ask you to buy them drinks.
And they'll dance with you.
They'll dance with you. They'll ask for money for the jukebox. Oh, you got some quarters for the jukebox.
Yeah.
And then I've seen them get the money and give it to basically a pimp.
Yeah.
There'll be a man working in the bar.
And you know where that you talk about Mexicans again. That usually happens at Mexican bars.
Okay, let's not get into it.
But I'm just saying, that's what usually happens. I haven't yet to see. I've been to more, about as many bars as you have. You've probably been to more. But I'll tell you, I've never seen white women want to dance with a Mexican guy or anything like that. I see Mexican women dance with white guys, but it don't work with white dancing with Mexican.
Maybe the older, yeah.
Maybe the older ones.
The older Mexican chicks like the white man.
Well, no, I'm just saying that it don't work the other way around.
Okay, I think we're done with race relations.
No, because you're really doing it. No, it's not dumb because you haven't been at the bar. You haven't learned. Right. It takes a long.
We're moving on to a new subject.
It takes a long time.
subject.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just say it takes a long time to
Like, for
learn.
example, if I start following some religion,
Donovan lives here now.
Just because I'm religious, I was a good person before.
We talk a lot about various subjects late
But
at
yeah,
night.
you have to have it in your quote unquote.
Oh my!
What?
Oh my!
So,
No, it's stuff that we don't want to know.
yeah, we talk. Because while you're at home looking at Star Wars shit on the
You're
internet,
playing around. You're playing around with my nephew.
me and
Okay.
Donovan,
Hey, whoa, don't roll me into this
me
shit.
and
What?
Donovan are having
Well,
a serious.
What did I do?
I just say.
Playing with me.
No, he's trying to bring some. I'll bring some back on him.
Why you wrote me into it?
Okay. Fuck, why do you bring shit like
Wait,
that?
hold on. Jim's got the floor. Jim's got the floor. What have you been talking about?
Bring me one.
I have a lot of books here, as you can see.
Oh, shit.
There's one here called Plague of Corruption. There's another good one in my stack over there. And the idea is that the powers that be, I don't know what you would call them, the government, the Illuminati, the
Freemasons.
The Freemasons, the Jews, or whatever. They're planning a second pandemic. Okay.
Okay, that part.
The first pandemic was just a trial session.
I wouldn't doubt
They
it.
wanted to see how much they could get away with. Will you wear a mask? Will you stand 6 feet apart from somebody?
Will you take shots?
Will
Will you stay home and not go outside?
Yeah. Will you
Oh,
will you keep your kids home from school?
Will you get a vaccine card?
Yeah.
Will you,
How much the government can control it?
Yeah. So I think it was just like a trial run.
Do you guys want to know something really creepy about that?
I wouldn't doubt that.
So first of all, if you really consider everything that's going on right now and everything that went on that time, they were attacking the unvaccinated for not taking a drug that, Big Pharma, or me, this guy.
I did. I agree.
This guy, I don't think he ever.
I never took shit.
Yeah.
No shots, no boosters,
But
nothing.
I think also one of the things that I kind of realized was that okay, so how do I say this shit? Like,
Our customers pay an average of 10% when they book
I
select properties
don't
for a
think
week or longer.
that the back
To extend that vacation. Book
20
the perfect
That
summer
was-
getaway today with Verbo Private Vacation
That's
Rentals.
what Canada
I don't know how to say it.
You know, I think
No, let him
I'm not gonna lie to you, they made me drink the Kool-Aid that time.
Oh, I know, bro. I remember our debates.
I only took 2 vaccines when I stopped. Because I got some free thinking.
Well, that's what I do.
Actually, look, that's one thing. Me and him, we
He's
were
one of the only
back and
presidents
forth
with
a lot.
balls.
He would tell me, just take a shot.
Now I say don't take it.
Now you'll say, don't ever take it.
No, not no more. No, I think
What?
it's scam now.
Like
But
Sam's
they were
on the
making,
bike?
everyone around me was making me drink the Kool-Aid.
Everybody, right? Everybody was even my
Like,
old
you take a
friends.
shot or you're a piece of shit.
No, they didn't tell me
Your
that.
grandma
No,
killed
they
me.
will tell you like that.
Yeah, they will tell you
tell you like that.
The only thing, I got sick the first time. I got really sick the first time.
Okay, Andrew.
You're cracked,
So I
dude.
couldn't shot. I didn't believe that it was going to work.
Millions of people
But I
get-
waited till I got
How do
sick.
you know it was a shot? There wasn't your immunity.
Well, you don't know?
Even if we get bombed?
Put your trust in something,
I ended up getting
and that's
COVID.
it.
I ended up getting
Millions
COVID.
of people get
Is there
sick.
something beyond that? Is there something in that can that I don't know about?
But see, I've been sick all my life. You're not me.
In 2020.
Zooted?
Late 2020.
You know,
Hyper?
You might call me a
That's what
hypochondriac.
I'm gonna tell you guys. So Biden did say build back better. All right. You guys remember the Build Back Better?
yeah.
Tripping.
B, and now we got the big, beautiful bill.
Kill Bill.
B. What is BBB? 666.
Second class.
Hector, take your meds.
I'm gonna take my
Take your
meds. I just
meds.
want you guys to
Yeah.
think about that.
All right.
That's in the Hebrew language.
Let that sink
I
in,
know.
guys.
Innovation.
That one is stretching a little.
Wait.
Far.
Hold on, I'm going to believe in it.
Hold on,
I can
big.
believe it, actually.
It's no fucking
I believe more of the
I believe
Illuminati.
big,
the
beautiful
I,
bill.
I got very philosophical one here.
I don't like
know
Trump.
what-
I don't
know.
believe
I'm
in all
struggling
that
with the idea of
crazy
like if
shit
there
that he
is
said
evil
right now.
entities like
With
that.
shots in the bill.
Wait a minute.
What?
So you don't know if there's evil entities.
Let Hector cook.
They are evil entities.
Wait.
Because to me, I go to I'm very much like
Hearing they want to get back together.
I got very like
bad.
philosophical into like what
Working your back
is the point of life. Really, no point at the end of the day for me, at least. Whether that's good or bad.
Here's the pertinent question. I'll let you finish your
Go ahead. But one of the arguments is what is good, what is evil. Is that like something that was like socially constructed, or religion usually talks about what's evil, what's good?
Right.
So I don't know where, if I can believe in like for certain and say like yeah, there's an evil entity out there like 666, you know, and all that stuff. I
You just don't know.
I don't know.
You can't confirm.
I can't confirm, but I lean towards more that there is.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we got Jim. Hold on.
But you won't deny it completely.
Here's the burning question.
Okay.
My
that I want
brain
to
wants
ask
to lean to
everybody.
yes, then I believe I
Say next month,
Confliction.
some representative like
Just sounds like confliction.
Anthony Fauci, or maybe he comes back out of retirement. He comes on TV and says, "Now we have this new virus, and it's called COVID-20."
Yeah, well, they keep
So
saying
now,
that.
so now everybody has to stay home from work, keep your kids out of school, wear masks, stay 6 feet apart.
Take another experimental drug.
Take another a separate vaccine.
Mr. Stimmy.
I did miss that.
Boosters.
It's okay for sitting around.
Would anybody in this room go through that shit all over again?
Nope.
I don't think so.
No.
I'm too old to. I'm too old to even care.
I think it's
No, I'm too old
pause
to
in
even
life.
care.
There's people like Destiny that still exist, bro.
You know what?
You know what? Yeah, there's still
too many
people
people like
Hassan,
Destiny.
Hassan Piker.
Who?
I don't know. How is Hassan on the COVID?
Destiny, the Twitch guy.
Wait, but how is Hassan on the COVID?
Why in the
He was
background
pro
you keep saying
vaccine.
He
that?
totally, yeah. I mean,
One of the
Didn't he
pro.
re-
Destiny's pro vaccine. That's why.
there's too many of those people,
COVID did that.
and they're gonna
COVID's
for
coming
sure.
back.
You don't think they
and it's
changed
killing
their mind
about
on
50
it?
people.
Oh no.
You don't think
States.
so?
No, they double down.
Yeah, you don't see nobody.
People double down.
Good old Christ.
I haven't heard
Wait,
that.
hold on,
no?
guys, hold on. Everybody chill. Wait, I want to make one thing because so you guys believe that there's evil in this world?
Yeah.
Because
What does that mean, though?
Javi doesn't.
What does that mean? Like for example, like he has the capability to do bad things, or is it like what I'm talking about?
Was the vaccine evil?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is like, okay, like when I hear evil, you said 666, and
Yeah.
you talk about stuff like that. What do you
Yeah.
mean by evil? Like somebody might say that Hitler's evil. Someone might say that Trump is evil. Someone might say that Elon's evil or Kamala's evil. You know?
What?
No, No, people will say that. But what I'm saying is like, what is evil? Like, does that, like, for example, like when an animal hunts and you see it kill like a little innocent animal, that looks kind of evil, right? Is it evil?
No,
Right.
that's not.
So what's evil? Like if he, like, or you and I decide like, oh, I'm just gonna go, I'm sick, I'm gonna go shoot someone. Is that evil?
That's evil.
Okay. What is, but that's doing something bad, right? That's doing something bad, so it's not opposed to good.
I
So
can't
a lot
believe
of, like,
what was the reason though? What was the
right.
reason?
So a lot of like, there's like a lot of ethics and like a moral nihilism where it's like, what is it good, what is bad.
But if
It
you
depends.
see,
Because
Let's-
other
let me-
countries have different
let me-
ideas of good and bad.
well, let me,
So
let
I
me,
don't know where I stand with it.
but let me say,
You have something to say?
okay, what would you consider Hitler? He knew it, and he helped.
A guy who had a lot of,
He
a lot of bad
helped
things.
guide all this evil.
What do you think about Hitler?
Regardless if these people did some, okay, if they did some bad, you know what I mean? But was it up to him to judge those people
But when I hear evil, I think of an entity.
condemn them?
I think of like
No, but see
religion.
what
I
I'm
think
saying,
of that.
and he just didn't do it on
You think
one
of possessions.
person. I think
In a
they do got
sense.
Oh, you
fire.
want to get into possessions?
What are possessions?
Like for example, there's good energy, there's bad energy.
That's on our list too. If you want to get into
That's why I asked you, like, do you believe in God? Because then usually, like, oh, evil, that's the devil. It's the devil getting in your brain and yada yada yada. The devil is the one who's the Illuminati, 666, stuff like that.
Okay, I get you.
That's why I don't necessarily start.
Nazi
like,
said
like I go back to saying
Jews
earlier,
in the higher
humans
ranks.
deserve an undisturbed life. Like,
They work with a
you
lot of Jewish
disturb that
elites.
life, that's bad. If you're chilling and I'm chilling, and I just shoot you. I took your conscience, I took your life. That's bad.
Thank you, United
Why did you
States.
do it over and over and
Thank you, all the other nations that they parasite off of.
Why is
There's
that?
no
Hold
way
on, why
to
is that
stop
bad?
you.
What?
Why is that bad?
And you get others involved.
Wait, hold on. This guy's arguing why is what bad?
I'm going somewhere with this. Why is it bad if I kill someone that's like, for example, at a concert and just enjoying the concert?
Right.
What's wrong with that?
Why would
Because
you
you're
do that?
disturbing
Well,
another
those-
life.
You're
Those
bad.
people are occupying my house, or my land. Why shouldn't I do that? Why shouldn't I kill people?
Who's your land? What's your land? What the fuck are you
The
talking about?
Palestinian land is my land. These Jews
What are
are
you
occupying
talking
it.
about?
I know there's a
What is
fine
this guy
line
talking
between
about?
evil.
I think we're getting
Who
off
gave
subject.
you that
Is
land?
it a natural
Were you
thing?
promised that
Or is it
2,000
something
years
that's
ago? Well, guess
social?
what?
Is it-
I got
That's
a rocket
not-
promised to
My
you
point is,
in
okay,
24 hours.
Right, let's not
Like-
argue that. My point is, you
Like,
can
what are you
justify
talking
if
about?
you don't have a
Right.
basis
Right here,
for
consent's
what
18,
you
right?
conceive
In
of
other
as
parts of the country,
moral.
it's younger than that.
You know, a
Some
proper
people might see
basis.
that, like, here, it's bad. Over there, it's not.
Right.
You can justify
that-
any kind
so
of murder.
that's
They-
kind of like...
That's
I'm trying to say
you!
sometimes it's
That's dead as you,
To
bro!
everybody, it's
You're
different.
literally justifying
Everybody
murder
knows.
just for being in a land that you don't even fucking
Okay, let's not get
occupy.
back into immigration.
I'm not saying that I agree with that,
We're
but
not
if
talking
you're a
about
Palestinian, you would rationalize it that way, wouldn't you? That's why they rationalize going in and killing on October 7th.
What are you, no, that's not what they rationalize. No, they've been in open air
Why was it
prison.
okay to kill people at a
Why
concert?
is it okay to enslave fucking a whole
Right.
group of people?
So what about him? There's enslaving us, so it's okay for us to kill them
Answer
at a
the
concert.
question, dumbass.
Finishing
Oh,
thoughts, gentlemen.
God,
So
bro.
yes, and
It is a little bit
you
of
can
a little bit.
you can twist anything to be whatever the fuck you want. That's why Christians and secular humanists, they have this conversation. They're like,
I got doxxed.
well, okay, secular
Wait, who got
humanists, if
doxxed?
you don't have a basis,
No, I
for
didn't get
what
doxxed, I
evil
didn't get
is,
doxxed.
then why can't we just do this? Why can't we force women, for example, to
Right.
to be in breeding chambers because it's for the betterment of society?
No, right.
There's no
What
secular
the fuck are you
humanist.
talking about?
There's no secular humanist answer
He's
to
being an
that.
ultimate skeptic.
He's being fucking insane.
No, I know what you mean.
Finishing thoughts, gentlemen.
You're asking like in a what's that word?
These debates have been had before by
Yeah,
people
they have,
who have
they
studied
have.
this
Yes,
subject
they have, they
way
have.
the fuck more than
Yeah.
me.
He's asking it in a rhetorical aspect, I think, right? Or no?
No.
Yeah, no, of course.
Okay, we started this conversation asking what is evil. Okay, I once heard a very wise philosopher say that evil is not aggression or hatred towards somebody. It's actual, absolute feelingless towards somebody.
If I see it, if I see it, and
When you have absolutely no feelings towards somebody.
Like, not necessarily
Like the fight Hitler
as bad as religion,
No,
but like
he
the sort of
just,
like
he was aggressive
What if you
toward
feel?
people.
What if you feel satisfaction?
He killed any kind of people that got this way.
I think
I
God
don't
is
understand.
so powerful
lack
and so all because I'm a Christian.
compassion.
I'm just gonna put
He
that out.
had no
I
compassion.
think God is so
That's
consuming and
evil,
all
just lack of
powerful that
compassion.
we can't even
That's how
conceive.
some
Even if it's a real thing.
God is.
Define it.
Same-
No
a lot of people
compassion.
from, like, Islam
I know you're too much trouble. Too much trouble.
I agree with that.
Right.
That's why I said
That's why I told Hector.
I would put Hitler.
If I hate this guy,
I don't believe in God.
Ah,
It's
you're
more like
stupid too.
kind of dealing with the absurdity of life. Right?
But
No, he's always right.
but if
You
I
know what?
don't,
He's
if I,
always right.
but if I don't care about him,
But then I try to look
all,
at like moral realism and what is good, what is bad. That's
Okay. Well, okay.
So it's sort of
So you got a good point.
It's very hard.
Why should I be good? Why should I give a homosexual?
You know what I had to do?
that's the
Why should I
philosopher's
do that? Why should I do
I
that?
get
Stop
mad at
me
him
for
too,
just
and I still forgive him.
yelling at you guys and being an asshole.
Look at this.
Stopping me from punching somebody.
Cause he got me
So
already,
I
man.
started, like, dealing with
Earlier,
that.
he wrote some
So that I
fucking
think what
shit
is
on
good, what is
Facebook.
bad, I
On
can
your
focus
phone.
on
Got me
that.
pissed
But I
off.
hear that
I can't really watch
Another
Nasties on
part of the
this.
world is punching somebody.
I don't do that to him.
You're dating a 16-year-old, that's bad. Like,
Yeah.
you're bad.
So,
But someone else is-
and it was his birthday.
So it's like-
So that's what you
There's
mix
also,
it
like,
with.
social perspective.
Yeah, it was
It's
your
also, like,
birthday.
natural. It's natural. I
No,
like,
it was from last year. He commented. He commented it now.
We work together, you know, so it's a good
No,
thing.
I'm just gonna keep it. It's too good. I'm not gonna
So it's like, I struggle with,
He knows what he's saying.
like,
And I don't like that because I don't do that to him.
And some people say like,
He even gets mad.
No,
He writes a story,
tells you what evil is, what
and
good
if you
is,
don't
sometimes
comment,
not doing
okay?
this, not doing that. So I'm trying to find out like, what
And
that means.
so I'm cool. I try to read the story and
Depends on who
comment.
you ask.
Right.
Most of the time he writes real good, and I comment something good.
Not today.
Never
So I'm trying to figure
told
out.
you one
I don't know where I stand.
bad
I know where I
remark.
stand.
I might not like it. I won't comment,
I'm not gonna be honest.
and that's all I say.
But
But
you don't even post anything on Facebook.
that's my thing, okay? I don't want the world to know what I do.
Okay, we're changing subject.
Change the subject.
I think I know where I stand for
Before this guy
you.
starts to rant.
I tend to be very
Well, the eyes.
Okay,
The eyes and the
gentlemen, we're gonna
I'm starting to know that about
we're gonna
him.
enter into the root, to the real, the supernatural.
Alright, everybody. What's a real
Discussing
supernatural?
with this with Donovan, like I said, discussed a lot of things during the week, and we were saying, we were talking. There was a radio show on the other night, and there was a man who claimed to be an exorcist, that he's performed many exorcisms throughout his career. And so we were saying, is exorcism, is demonic possession, an actual possession?
He's trying hard not to.
Or is it just mental
more
illness?
people lead to
Is
more,
a
more
religious
people lead to
fanatic
more
just having
violent
an
issues.
episode
That could be said about any other
of
feature.
religious fanaticism?
Too many bees, too many this,
Or a
there's
drug
fucking
psychosis.
parakeets in Alhambra. That leads to environmental issues because they're
Yeah, but
creatures.
it gets into a lot of gray area because
Parakeets.
The birds.
a lot of exorcists. Donovan,
And any
we're
other creature,
discussing
too many of anything could lead to something bad.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. What do you mean
a
by
lot
that?
of
More people lead to
exorcists
more
say that
environmental
if you
issues.
drink
That could
too
be said
much,
by anyone
do drugs, it leaves you open to demonic possession, a demon or a dark entity could enter your body.
One of the things that Raymond was here. I remember he told me a story that when he did shrooms for the first time, he was running because he thought demons were chasing him.
Well,
But that's not the only time I've heard that same story. Everybody, like not everybody, but a good amount of people who told me like, yeah, I had a bad trip. I felt like demons were chasing me.
well, what if you do that to somebody who has no idea of what a demon is, the concept of what a demon is?
Well, they would say like
Monster.
the monster
Monster.
You give it to the people in the
just
Sentinel Islands.
chasing
I don't think they know what a monster is.
They'll be the fucking Stonehenge. Following them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that comes from what we've known, though. You know what I mean?
Well, that's been all through history.
Well, right, but that existed for a long time. The idea of demons and
So that's why. That's why
if you get someone who's ignorant to that, I don't think they'll be having trips about that.
Well, one of the things that they say that the whole idea of angels and demons is because conscious. It's a consciousness kind of thing.
Try not to look at that, but that's amazing.
Well, is that what you're saying?
No, because he's saying, but who decided that angels are good and demons are bad? Like, well, there is Satanists who would beg to differ, yeah.
Yeah, no, there's all.
And half of those things are from.
Well, hey, actually,
Yeah.
speaking of Satanists, Freemasons, right?
Yeah.
Freemasons, there's a Freemason temple in Pasadena, and it says in Alhambra, but the one in Pasadena
And San
says,
Gabriel and Temple City and Norwalk.
the bringer
nothing
of
one
the
in one
light
every
bringer,
city.
which the light bringer is Lucifer.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that in Revelation 22:16, Jesus says, "I am the morning star, the light bringer."
Which version of the Bible?
Any version of the Bible. He mentions himself as the morning star.
Here's a good question.
I'm not sure about that.
Shut the fuck up, man. Well, what do you think about? You think Jesus Christ was a good figure, or do you think it's more hijacked?
I'm really ignorant to that area. I wouldn't
Well,
say.
Oh, we could get into that subject.
I don't think that's right. Was Lucifer ever actually referred to as the morning star?
Yeah.
Just the light bringer.
He was the original.
Wait, before we get into that.
After that, they yanked the title, they yanked the power.
What about the Yankees?
Wait.
What are you talking about the Yankees for?
Do Hindu people get possessed by demons?
What have you heard about
Do
Mormon
Buddhist
God?
people get
They
possessed
brought
by
that up.
demons?
They brought that up.
Do Sikh people get into Jainists? All the religions of the world?
Islam do get possessed.
Yeah.
Islam do get possessed. Islam do get possessed.
Indian chiefs.
Yeah, do Native American people get
I've never
possessed by
seen an Asian get. I've never seen an Asian get possessed.
Shintoism.
Yeah, I've heard of stories.
Shintoism
Ex-
is the
ex-
indigenous
Oh yeah, I forgot the
religion.
grudge. That's right.
Well, yeah, that shit. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's real. I don't know how real that is.
Well, I'm not going to say it either way. It's just a question. Do people of other religions
I think so. Yeah.
get possessed?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, I think we call it different things though.
Yeah.
I think because we're Westerners, we call it a whole different Western mindset.
Oh, you can say that.
But, like, for example, on the island of Haiti, they actually invite entities
That is true.
Yeah, well,
That is
that's
true.
to invade their body
That's voodooism.
and take over their body. They're
That's an African thing too. That's
Yeah.
an African thing.
They actually invite that.
You know what voodoo is? It's part Christianism, Catholicism,
Yeah.
and
Part African religion.
yeah, and they got melted together. So,
Syncretic religion. Yeah. So how is it that one religion, like Christianity, says if you get like The Exorcist, how many people have seen The Exorcist? It was like the most horrible movie I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. But in the Haitian voodoo religion, they actually invite dark entities into your body. So it's all a matter of worldview.
We were just talking about how, cow piss.
Yeah.
Some people fucking, they take cow piss because it protects your skin, but the Westerners, we fucking take skin medication.
Yeah.
well, you know what? You don't know what the hell when they make those screams.
You don't know what's in there.
It can't be cow piss.
You know what
as far as you know.
This might be totally off the wall, but I talked to a urologist once, and the urologist said that urine does not contain bacteria.
Hey, Kill Pop 5000 said niggers. That's all he said.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
Come on, don't let somebody incite you like that.
Don't worry about it. We all know who Kill Pot is. We doxed that guy.
I hate everybody.
We know who he is. We know who he is. You got a whole SWAT team on your way, bro.
White people, honkies, gays.
Okay, we're getting into race relations again. Come on.
I said I hate everybody.
We were getting.
Oh, and I forgot. I hate myself.
Kill Pot says nigger.
Okay, let's bring the Ouija board out and have a seance. Were you here for that last time, Hector?
Yeah, I remember. Everybody left. Everybody was like, hell no. Hey,
Nothing happened.
Hey, wait, guys, wait. But real shit though. Shit's going down. And you guys, everybody's seeing what's going down.
Yes, we've seen you prepare for it. Yeah.
But no, we're talking about like with fucking with ice and everything. Like everybody's seeing what's going down, right? Are you guys seeing them snatching up people? And what do you guys think?
I told that people that earlier.
Going back to immigration.
Wait, no, it's not even immigration. Just the act of what they're doing.
Is wrong.
It's not even about immigration anymore. It's just about
God was a
snatching up.
because who says God's the guy?
You're talking about the police.
God, never heard that Ariana Grande song?
I know.
God of the
Federal.
woman.
Come on now.
That's what they are.
What if Lucifer made
They're federal
would have
police.
made a better God?
And there are a lot of
They're a separate.
That's why God
division
allows
of the
Lucifer or
government.
Satan
They're federal.
to be the god of earth,
They're federal.
Okay, I get
And
god of the
there
temporal
are-
realm.
The word ice means
Well, I actually-
immigration.
That's for us to decide.
Enforcement.
If you believe in that.
So Lucifer would have made a
They're
bet,
federal
like as
soldiers,
far as
federal agents
the betterment
doing
of the
what the hell they're
human,
doing.
like
And
as far
what
as
they're
heaven
doing
being
is
ran
wrong.
perfectly, he would have ran heaven
Wait,
perfectly.
hold on, bro. Hold on.
He's
I don't
perfect
care
in
what
everything.
Medina said.
But you know, humans aren't perfect. So what do you have to do with humans that aren't perfect? You gotta cut out the imperfections. I think that's the problem with Satan being in control. God knew that.
What's the subject over here?
Nietzsche killed God, right?
Well,
Excuse me. So,
What are you guys talking about?
but Satan.
so and Andy's talking. It could be argued that God was a terrible dad because he kicked out Lucifer. What if Lucifer would have made a better God? And I told him, I said, well, okay, God said Lucifer or Satan or whatever. That okay, you want to be God? All right, go ahead. You're out. Go be God of Earth. Go be God of the temporal realm. Here, more or less.
Yeah.
And he says, well, he could have been the God of everything, and that's where Medina came in.
No, well, what I'm saying is he did try to sit on the throne. He did try to control everything.
He
yeah.
did.
And that's why, and God was like, you know, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
He did it.
And here's the
nutted?
thing.
Yeah, he did it.
Hold on.
Shut the fuck up.
He let it.
Wait, but you're getting it wrong though.
What am I getting wrong?
God was a jealous God. He just got too jealous. What if Lucifer was doing good? What if people were praising more of
Well,
Lucifer
here's the thing.
than
Okay,
God himself?
communist countries have good statistics.
Always go back to communism.
It's
Ray's not even here.
I heard this theory.
No.
And I could get into that.
They have
thing.
good statistics.
What the
How
fuck
do they
are you talking
deal with the imperfections in their society? They purge them, like the homeless people. The communist countries, they purge their homeless people. They don't. We have a problem.
What are you talking about, bro?
Those societies are run perfectly, according.
Then why are they not around anymore?
Look,
When the
Shut
I'm going
the
off
fuck
of.
up,
Oh,
bro.
I know he's
You're a fucking
Let's go off of the
dumbass.
communist logic. I'm trying.
He's talking about this right here.
The communist
Let
logic.
me see.
Okay?
Hold on. Where's the
You
time?
can run a society perfectly. Humans
theory.
perfectly. In theory.
in theory.
But it's especially more effective if you kill the ones that don't want to be involved.
Oh, yeah. Well, then you got
That's
Jim would even
that's
know
what
what.
Satan would have
This is
done
a funny one.
in God's throne. He would have seen the humans that are retarded and would have deceived, done all bad.
It's all just melanin,
And say,
bro.
Let's
Don't be afraid of it.
just fucking kick them out. I think God didn't want that. God's like, wait a minute, I created those humans.
Yeah, that's what it
In their
is.
imperfections.
God goes, I created you,
Our customers
and
save an
you
average
can't
of
respect
10%
what I
when they
created.
book select properties for a week or longer.
Say,
Just in case you needed
What about
another
say?
reason to
Not
extend that
well,
vacation.
the theory when you said it,
There used to be a skater called Nuts.
I don't believe it.
And like, when boards came
You
out,
don't believe in
Nuts
nothing?
had to put a name on it.
that
And
should be
people,
going
like
soon.
moms would get mad because
I'm gonna go grab my other car and then I'm gonna bring it over here.
can we sing and
But they were like,
no
oh, you can't buy that
Every
because
time one
it's Satan.
sings it, nobody. No, I
So
don't
he
care if
would actually
nobody
play
says
on
it.
it, and he would actually like Satan
But,
flipping boards because the name was Nuts.
We used to be when you guys.
It's just funny
Before
how
you
like back
guys
then
came,
people
we
were
used
so
to
like,
be
no, you can't do
That's
that.
jams
'cause it looks like it says Satan.
Right, I had no
Don't
idea.
do that, no more. You just gets back,
If a pet's
falls
part of
asleep.
your family, Chewy should be too.
Yeah.
Everything you need.
I know he goes through a lot.
Who's ready
That's
for the
what I'm
most basketball action of the summer? Ice Cube's Big
You guys are
Three.
fucking crazy, man. Well, no,
I
bro,
know.
be for real, bro.
I'm
Be for
throwing
real.
I'm throwing like a
Hey,
bitch.
what if she starts going down? Like, what if like the military or like ICE start like they start saying,
Oh,
okay, get the hell out of here.
Will,
Musical guest performance.
that,
The Illuminati.
the funny thing, that's what I was bringing you back. Bringing you back to the theory. I don't give that these before you came.
Every weekend.
That
All summer
Shit.
long.
Watts, Marshall, Law,
to restock your
and
Then what happens then? What happens then? Are you
they
gonna
have
accept
total
it?
control.
Are you gonna accept it?
Of course, the people are not going to accept
Are
it.
you gonna accept it?
Hell no. But I'll
What
tell
are you
you,
gonna do about it? What are you gonna do?
there's nothing I can do about it right now because I don't know if it's going to happen.
online order, we make it right.
And
What can we do about
if
it?
it happens, there's very little that
I'm a beer man.
you can go out there and fight like a
I
dumb
stock beer
or
at
a
work.
terrorist or whatever to your point of view. But it's not going to do good unless you have hundreds
It's man
and
work.
hundreds
Make sure
and hundreds and hundreds of people on your side.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, point
Yeah,
of
no,
view.
that's just
But
And he wants a
or you know, if you're buying the internet,
Granger offers
Oh, what do you do?
making
done that
the theory
before.
and getting
done it before.
I know people who've done it. I know.
So,
Yeah, you
I'm gonna
Pallets and pallets and
yeah, you get a route, they give you low, sometimes
I forgot even what I'm doing. That's what I hate when I get too stoned.
I'll bring my car, and I'll give you a ride back.
Yeah, that stuff's pretty good because I start thinking
Bros, I'm gonna bring
real
up a
clear
good
and
movie I
then
read
boom, what's what's going on? It kills it.
called
Clear.
Compliance.
No, the thought pattern is clear. The data's being purged.
What is the point of moving these words? What is
Bye, guys.
You didn't understand what I was trying to say. Bye. Thank you. That stuff is pretty good.
I'll be right back for you.
No, another time. No, I gotta recover.
Medina, I'll be right back for you.
5 times membership rewards points on
I gotta recover. I gotta go.
All right.
travel.com. You
Got it in my
get
phone
points to
over
help
there?
grow your business.
I'm charging it in my room.
Access to more
You want it?
You left it in? No, I just want to work.
Before we get into another
the Centurion
discussion
Lounge.
about
You can see
immigration, let me
That's the
let me
powerful backing of
show you a
Express.
great film I saw the other day.
AmericanExpress.com/Amex Business.
Crunch Fitness here to remind you that feeling good is better than bad. For example,
called
getting a call from your boss at
Compliance.
night feels bad.
And it's a true
10
story
miles of cardio like a boss
of
feels
a,
good.
a young
Burning your
teenage
mouth
girl
on a reheated
who was
burrito
working at
feels
a
bad.
fast food restaurant.
Burning calories at Crunch feels
And
good.
pretty
Getting
girl,
drunk feels bad.
blonde girl,
Dumping your old
and,
gym feels good.
and some guy calls up the restaurant
Join it, Crunch.
and he identifies himself as a police
The
officer
all-electric Nissan
from the
Ariya
local
is a
police
fully loaded
department.
EV. It's
And he
driven
says,
and powered.
one of your employees stole something from a customer's purse. And so
It'll pin you to your seat.
they make the manager, the female of the manager, female manager of the restaurant, strip search her in the back room. And then they make the manager's boyfriend look after her while she's naked.
Booking.com has
And,
fees for asking
and the,
anyone.
And the police officer on the phone says, well, can you describe her to me? What do her breasts look like? Is she trimmed down here? What is she shaped like?
Forecast calls for sun. At least there's free cancellation
And
on
he
most
starts
days, so you can wait for
these bizarre requests. He says, well, if she's been bad, you have to spank her.
Perfect state. Again, find exactly
And
what
then, to make a long story short, this caller actually makes the girl give oral sex to the manager's boyfriend. And everybody in the restaurant just goes along with it. The employees, the manager's boyfriend. Finally, one of the maintenance men says, "No, this guy's asking for some weird shit. I'm not going to comply with this."
For Albertsons, Vons, and Pavilions.
So
love your home.
the bottom line
feels
is,
like it's running
it
your
wasn't
life.
a
Leaky faucets,
police
overgrown
officer.
hedges, and that room you
He
never
identified
need to
himself as a
repaint.
police
Sometimes
officer,
it's just
and
too
everybody
much.
just
There's
went along with
finding
whatever
else.
he requested because he identified himself as a police officer. And this poor girl got violated. She was like only 17 years old.
I would never listen to put the orders on the phone.
So
the person has to cut. Hey, even when they come up with that big thing, I go, "Can you put the guy over here?"
Yeah, the thing is,
I ain't gonna shoot. I'll even throw my gun out.
how far are you willing to go when somebody just says, "Hey, I'm a police officer. I'm an authority figure." They have a uniform on. They have a badge. How far are you willing to go? You're gonna strip search a girl, a 17-year-old girl?
Yeah, once she said that, what? A cop wouldn't want that.
Shouldn't he be the one to do it? Why is he making someone else do
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, because he said that he was at her house conducting a search of her house. So he told the employees of the restaurant, "You're gonna have to do this for me," and they all went along with it. They all went along with it.
I would
say, send another cop.
Yeah.
Come down when you're done.
Yeah.
I would say, hey, we'll wait for you to come over here.
Oh.
I'm not gonna do what you want, and you have the right to do that too.
So when I read about this book, I researched it. I read several articles to see how much of the movie was actually true. That's what I usually do when I see a movie of this nature. And it turned out most of the events in the movie were actually true. And the one thing that came forward was this psychological phenomenon called the bystander effect, where people will say, well, that guy's gonna do something, so I don't need to do anything. Well, this guy will do something, so I don't need to do. This guy will do something. This guy will do something because this guy will do something, so I don't need to do anything. It's called the bystander effect, where you just pass the buck along and nobody does anything. It's a.
I'm sorry, but that don't work on me.
It's a genuine psychological phenomenon.
Not when I would pass the buck.
Yeah.
If it wasn't safety, like women's right or violating her, or if someone says, "I want you to go rob this car," like if someone tells me, "Your friend is a cop."
Yeah, every 2 weeks.
Am I gonna listen to the dude to a certain point? Later.
Yeah.
It only goes too far to a certain point. Unless like I said, these people that are brainwashed. Like I said, the other day I told you that I told this guy something, and all these people. I must have been like, I keep getting references of, I knew that was something going to happen to me. I did, because they said that all the judges were.
What does this have to do?
No, but I just.
Andy said, what do you think?
No,
most people won't actually do anything. That's why when you hear someone actually doing something, it's extremely surprising.
Yeah, because you got leaders and you got sheep.
And people will always say, well, he'll call the police, so I don't have to.
You got the sheep. Those are the sheep.
Have you guys been in a situation where someone is just acting a fool, and everyone was just kind of ignoring it? It happens a lot on the subway. But,
On the bus too, yeah.
Yeah, it happened specifically. I saw this black dude. He was just kind of sitting on the subway, and he must have been drunk or something. But he would
A drunk guy in the subway?
Yeah, who would have guessed? But he would get in the face of like white families, and like, shut the fuck up. Okay, man. He did that to two different families on two different. I'm like, what the fuck? And then the second time I stood up because I'm like, what? I wanted to see what this guy was about.
Yeah.
And some fucking dude next to me, he's like, "Don't man,
Not worth it.
and it's like, so are we supposed to be okay with families getting fucking chased off of the train, harassed, because some fucking black dude with a hangover, he doesn't want to address, or he doesn't want to hear this fucking.
I'm like a pacifist. I can only take so much. Okay, guy yells a couple of times. Say I know sometimes they're not with it.
Yeah.
Or they're drunk. And then they say their shit and then they leave. They don't come back. But if he came back like once, twice, 3 times, hey dude, you gotta leave them alone. Eventually, I get tired of it. I just, leave them alone. What did they do to you? You know what I mean? I would say that. What did they do?
I don't know, man. I think I think what libertarians describe as like the stick with the stick, and you're allowed to swing your stick as much as you want as long as you don't hit anybody.
Oh, I've heard of that. Well, eventually it don't work that way.
Well, people, yeah. Well, what I'm saying is people are what they're doing is they're swinging their stick in people's vicinity as close as they can, but they're not hitting them, so it's okay, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's okay.
It only
Oh,
goes-
yeah. Try doing that around a cop.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You get shot.
You get shot. Yeah, that's the first thing.
They'll only bat an eye when the same thing happens to them.
Oh yeah. Don't put them in the same shit. Oh, but dude, you have the authoritism. You take control. There's very few that actually think with their mind. Very, very few.
There's this dude that walked into one of my grocery stores.
What?
He had a fucking.
It's true.
He had like a little gauntlet, a spike, made out of a construction tool. It was a little spike that was sticking out of the seam. He was looking for a steel reserve. They didn't have it, but he wouldn't leave until he got one. So he just kept walking around the store holding this fucking thing in his hand.
Oh, shit.
Scaring customers. By the way, he is clearly homeless, and he's got like a big old scar in his eye. So, and his hair is like crazy. So, disheveled, very disheveled. I mean, so he is for sure scaring everybody. But is he doing anything wrong?
Well, he's not.
Well, it's not against the law to be scary.
It's not allowed to be scary. As long as he's not harassing no one.
And carrying around that little construction thing where it was resting on his arm, and it had a little spike on it. Just think of it like a gauntlet on stuff,
Right.
Yeah, as long as he's not hurting.
I knew this one girl, and some dude was following her around, all around town. A really pretty girl. And the dude would just stand out on the sidewalk looking into her bedroom window. And she called the cops. And the cops said, he's on a public sidewalk. He's not doing anything.
Yeah.
He's not breaking any laws. So we can't do anything.
Now, if he goes into the apartment.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course, but wouldn't that make you were a...
And he gets a magnifying glass, and he starts to really look.
That wouldn't count as like a stalker situation.
Well, only certain states have stalking laws like that. I don't know about here in California what the exact laws
Everywhere
are.
you go, everything you do. That song, I call it the stalker song.
And another time, because I used to teach boot camps at this park down the street, and there was this black dude. He was in the middle of the park, and they have little girls dance class. And these little girls are like 8, 9, 10 years old. And he was standing out there taking photos of them while they were doing their dance routines. And one of the parents came up to him and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" Taking photos of our little girls. And somehow they looked at his phone and he had rows and rows of photos of little girls in his phone.
Oh, Shiloh was right.
So they called. So right there at the park, they have like a little sheriff substation. They have a sheriff substation, so they called the sheriffs out, and the sheriffs came and looked at his phone and said, "Well, you're not really welcome around here," and they let him go. They couldn't do anything because he was in a public place.
Yeah.
Taking photos of little girls in a public place. They couldn't arrest him. They couldn't charge him with anything. And
He never did nothing bad, so
you know he was up to no good.
well, somebody else was good.
And that he was a pervert, but technically he didn't break any laws. So what are you gonna do?
Call him the N-word so he can ship out.
Yeah, he would, yeah. So what one of the moms told me is that they took pictures of his license plate and posted them on Facebook. And said, "This guy's going around to public parks taking photos of little
They'll
girls."
be watching this now.
Yeah. But the actual cops couldn't do anything.
There's a similar story to what my brother had told me when he was running.
Yeah.
He was in his bike going up all the way to Long Beach.
Yeah.
And he saw this dude.
Where at?
Close to Long Beach.
Yeah.
And there's this dude that was had his bicycle. He was like close to like a kids park.
Yeah.
And he was masturbating to the kids at the park. He was a Mexican dude. Well, he looked Mexican, so yeah.
Yeah. And did anyone call the cops?
No, because there's no adults there, so.
Yeah. Oh my God. There's some crimes that are hard to prosecute.
Yeah.
They'll tell you, "Hey, not breaking any laws."
Yeah.
But I remember when I was a teenager, of course I had long hair, I used to wear leather jackets. The cops would jack me up every day. Walking to the store, walking to the hamburger stand. "What are you doing around here? What's in your pockets?" I tell the cops, "I live here."
And then they gave you the Rodney King treatment.
Yeah.
That's all you were but you were expecting that.
Yeah.
What the ass?
No, they were the cops were mean.
I don't know, I got bonked on the head.
I think Rodney King changed
No,
all
you
that.
shouldn't have bumped you.
They're starting to go back to that.
You should say it. What happened? So that guy.
You may have it on video of them
Yeah,
shoving a woman and breaking her shoulder was broken.
Or
Another woman getting trampled by a horse.
Oh, they got trampled by a horse.
Yeah, or pushed to the ground by a horse. And got,
should sue him.
I got the videos of it.
Yeah.
Watch him take it down too, and
Yeah.
Good. Get out the way.
Well, no, yeah, to a certain point. Push one thing, trample another thing.
pushed to the point where she falls down and
No,
hits her
then the
head and
horse-
don't even get her up.
Yeah. You see, they knocked her down and didn't even help her up.
And then they're knocking me away when I'm trying to help her up.
And then,
what the fuck?
And she's rendering assistance, and he took the punishment. That's wrong. Something that they should have done, which they didn't.
Something that was caused by them, which they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
If a United States senator could get pushed to
Yeah,
the ground
they
and
would
handcuffed,
get-
it
they
would
would
to
get-
any of us. It could happen to anybody.
That's why I said I didn't like what they were doing.
I read this story on YouTube in this small town, and I was talking to Donovan about this. They pulled over this black woman at a gas station in a small town, and she was dressed in military fatigues. You know, what are you doing dressed like that? And she told them, I'm a U.S. Army general. And they're like, oh yeah. And so she goes, can I make a phone call? So she makes a phone call, and a black SUV pulls up, and it's Army superiors. And it turns out
I used to be
she was a U.S. Army general.
No, I can't get it that high.
And she was in the middle of a mission. And so all those cops lost their jobs.
Good.
You know, but I don't sing them. Why not?
They pulled over a U.S. Army general, and they tried to say, "Oh, why are you wearing military fatigues?" Because I'm a general, dumbass.
You can wear what he wants. You can wear pajamas.
But she was on a mission.
To do what?
You missed the whole thing.
I know. It's about where.
You're having a sidebar.
Okay. I'm buzzed.
She was a black woman. She was a U.S. Army general.
Oh, that thing.
And she was on a mission, and some redneck cops pulled her over and said, "What are you doing dressed in military fatigues?" I'm a general, dumbass.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Yeah.
And she made one phone call, and they came and took her away, and those stupid cops lost their jobs.
Yeah.
And he said, I would have said, why are you dressed up as a cop since you never do anything? That's a good one.
That's a good one. Why are you dressed?
Cops power trip.
Oh, tell me, ain't you late for the donut shop?
Yeah.
Or ain't you late for hassling the homeless? That's what they're good at.
Oh.
That's what they're actually good at.
And there's this one guy I've seen on YouTube, and he's a Jewish guy. It's no secret that Jewish guys make the best lawyers, and he's an attorney, and he just goes out there and he baits cops, and he challenges them to arrest him, and this guy knows more about the law than the whole police department put together. You can't arrest me. What municipal code have I violated?
Yeah.
What?
And they can't even cite it.
Yeah, they can't even cite it. And the cops are just standing there like, oh, I don't
Like
know.
if they came right now, go lock that fucking door. They can't get in here without a warrant.
Yeah. One time when I was in college, I was in a party like this in someone's living room, and the police came through the front door and said, "This is an illegal assembly."
Well, they could tell you that outside the door.
No, they said it.
No, they can tell you outside.
Yeah.
They don't have to come inside and tell you that.
Oh, that's
They have the right to tell you that, but they don't have no right to come inside your house and tell you.
songs with power chords that make
So
you
my
want to
friend
light
got
off
on the
fireworks.
phone. His dad was an attorney. He said,
This
"Dad,
on iHeartRadio.
cops are coming in here saying this is an illegal assembly," and he said, "Just comply with them for right now, and we'll sue them later."
Yeah.
And they sued the cops later.
That's right. I was telling somebody, I go, I'm gonna let the Migler come and take me. Because you are gonna get a big, fat, long suit, and I'll make sure you lose your fucking job. Take me to Mexico. You're gonna have to pay for my way back. You're gonna have to pay for all the meals. You're gonna have to pay for all the suffering that I occurred, the humiliation that when I went through the thing, I ain't doing fucking wrong. You came and picked me up. I told you. I would tell him, I am a second generation American. Okay? Now maybe you have some beef with my grandparents, but they're dead, and that was 75, about 50 years ago when they died. So you want to have some beef? Well, go talk to them, not me. Okay? And then that's what I tell them. And then I would say, "How long have you been here, fucker? Can you say that?" Bet you half of them are immigrants themselves, first generation.
Okay, so does that mean I'm gonna have to start carrying my birth certificate around with me?
I would.
Oh, my friend Jose, he says he wasn't born here, but he's got papers, and him and his dad are carrying their papers now.
Better, because if they take them away from you, fucking lawsuit again, motherfuckers. You're only gonna get rich. That's why I say all the ones they take that they're wrong. That were wrong. I mean, I'm not talking about criminals. I'm taking the ones that they did something wrong to them, especially if they were citizens. You are gonna get a big ass lawsuit. You're gonna lose your fucking job. You probably lose your fucking house. So you better be careful who you take. They don't think that. And that they have Latinos working in there too.
And they're gonna say, "Do you have your vaccination card?"
Yeah, right, dude. What country you come from? Russian? That went out about 3 years ago. I'm gonna take there. Perfect song. No, that. What I gotta tell you though. I don't know if I told you earlier that puppet of the president, the woman, she went out and said on the TV. She goes, and we're gonna deport all you illegals, and we're gonna send you to Mexico. So she's singling out that we're all these immigrants here, no matter what. I'm just saying, she goofed up when she said that. To the max. She says that we're gonna deport you of a country, not just the word Mexico.
Yeah, I think she's a diversity hire. No, I do.
I think she didn't catch on. Somebody else wrote that shit for her, and she said it right away. But they're still gonna get after her ass, and whoever wrote that fucking speech.
Exactly what it is. Hey, ready to go?
Yeah, I do gotta go anyway.
You didn't hear it, will you? See if they show it again. They probably won't show it no more. Because she fucked up major right when I see that. I go, she fucked up.
You know what, though? There's a lot of people who are fucking up hard right now, bro.
But I go, you're one
Hey Nathan,
stupid person for what you just said. You were all correct until you said the word Mexico.
Shut the fuck up.
Edgar, you want to
See, you gotta watch that. You're gonna watch it.
Why do you hate Amitos?
This is me at the protest earlier.
I don't hate them. I'm telling you what she said. She said,
No, but why you don't like
the ones I don't like are the drug dealers, the murderers, the actual ones. No, listen. The ones that have been caught, they actually see physical evidence.
This is my phone getting stolen, by the way.
Even drug dealers.
What about citizens?
Nope.
No.
So this guy was going to give it back to me. Listen.
I feel sorry. I feel sorry for every poor Mexican, from the car wash
some
dude,
fucking high school
to the
girl
fucking
stole
guy
it
that
back.
mows the lawn.
From that
You know
guy
what I
that was
mean?
going to give it back to me.
It's not their fault.
And ran off with it because
I
they
get
it
it,
was
no,
my
but
phone.
like, that's what they want.
I know.
Okay, so I had
But
a
they want
sign.
more than that.
The least controversial sign.
They want way
ever.
more than that.
No commies.
They want to get
or
rid of
Mexican or
people
Mexican
that are
nationalists.
already here.
And on the other side it says,
Why?
I'll be outside.
this is not
You
Mexico.
know what another one, Hector? Why are
This
they?
is
Because
This isn't Mexico. Is this Mexico?
immigrants.
I know,
Maybe
no.
like commies or
They
Mexican
just don't like
nationalists
the
who think that
Mexicans.
this is
They don't like
period.
anybody.
I don't either.
No, but why don't they get Italian Jews,
That's the way I see it.
Russian
Soon they
Jews,
will, and they have.
Russian,
They
all
started
those?
attacking me, bro.
No, first they're gonna get rid of the Mexicans.
Dude, okay, so they
Yeah,
I was on actually.
and then they're gonna
This
go
little
after
girl,
the
that's what I'm
Asians.
saying. Like, I think it was like,
And
they must have
then
planned this shit. They
the
caught us
stupid
all at
blacks
once.
will wake
I
up,
was with a
and
dude.
they're gonna go after them
And-
too.
This girl was throwing like orange, half
Tell me I'm
cut
about
oranges
outside.
at me.
All right.
Yeah, they were like half cut oranges. She was throwing them at me, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I realized like if she was throwing them, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like
The
get
Orange
fuck away.
Revolution.
I realized she was a high school girl, so I'm like, oh. But then people started to get in my face, and they started to smack my fucking hand. They tried to take my flag.
Attack of the
I had a flag, my flag right here.
Hey, I would have defended you.
Dude, Andrew, I was straight
I
up
like
like,
defending the
We're gonna get a
flag.
flag like
I don't know what you're saying, but I'll defend.
dude, I was straight up like having to fucking wrestle it out of people's hands. It's the only thing that survived, bro.
But dude, I don't care that you were like a MAGA
I'm
dude.
getting a MAGA hat.
I see the flag. I go after that.
With the MAGA
If they want to stomp your ass, that's your thing.
Do you
No,
see?
I believe in that thing.
I protected this thing above everything else, even my own phone.
Do you see my American flag out there?
Yeah,
I look like a Jew. Did you know today was Flag Day?
I didn't know that. Well, that's right. That's right. That's why. That's Trump's excuse to have a parade. He's making it for the 250 years the Army's been there.
Oh yeah.
He would have gotten attacked too. They would have. I'm like, these
By
guys.
them, already got it.
They attacked the guy. They attacked the guy that came with me. They stole my phone out of his hands.
So you actually lost your phone?
Yeah, I lost my phone.
Oh, that sucks.
I actually don't even know how I'm gonna pay for my gas in the morning.
Oh shit!
I fucking gotta find my bank card.
All right, Nick. Come again next time.
To Air Bands on
Elon's taking off.
Radio.
Ever wanted to stay on vacation longer? Us too.
All right,
With
thanks for
Apple's
coming,
long-stay discounts,
Edgar.
You can stay
Aye.
longer and save more on select
Good night,
models.
broadcast.
See, I didn't
Bye,
call you-
Andy.
Book the
I didn't
perfect
call
summer
you,
getaway today with
Elon this
Travel
time.
Vacation Rentals. And future selves will thank you later.
Oh, even he don't like Trump no more.
That's